Radcliffe citing Charles again. End of that post.
Yeah, defensively, Northwest Fury need to get arms over that feed. They can't leave it with clear vision. Otherwise, it's just too hard for Stutt and too easy for Flames to just get it in.
Charles currently taking Stutt out of the game. We've seen really good stuff from Stutt, haven't we, throughout this league. She has been a powerhouse in the back. She's been physical and on every single ball, but currently can get her hands to it.
Yeah, and you know what? I am here for this battle. I can't wait to see what it's like in the fourth quarter. It's already feisty.
It's so good as well because Natalia Ihenulo, who was player of the tournament for last year's National League and Northwest Fury player, is now in the Wales Under 23s setup. So they're missing, their starting goalkeeper that did so much great stuff for them. But yeah, it looks like they've found a great understudy as well. So yeah, excited to see what happens.
Definitely. Well, at the end of that first quarter, it is 13 points to Flames, 10 points to Northwest Fury. So still absolutely within reach. There's not, a lot can change within 3 quarters. That's half an hour of netball that we can continue doing.
Yeah, absolutely. And you know what? I think Northwest Fury probably just need to tweak their defensive setup a little bit in terms of just putting arms over and trying to isolate the ball carrier. We know that Flames, when they're under pressure, can sometimes lose their heads. So if I was the coach of Northwest Fury, I'd be saying, look, isolate the ball carrier, or let's just get strong arms, strong man on man. Let's get arms over every feed and almost make it look open, but then run on it so that, it's not a great pass. But and for Flames, their defence is really good at the moment. They're sat ball side, they're keeping them wide. They just need to recycle Northwest Fury if they can't get it down.
Absolutely, and we know the defensive setups on both sides can work their asses off to get to that every single ball, but we are seeing that shooting setup as well. But coming through middle of the court, Lucy McEwen and Lucy Leonard working really hard to get at the end of the ball, but not quite reaching where they want the ball to go. We're seeing Leonard learning to pocket, but maybe the ball put on extension, on overreach, and we need to maybe see a bit more patience and a bit more putting placement on ball.
Yeah, and you know what? This is what we've talked about before. We've seen this before, haven't we? So ideally for them, if this is a common theme, then they've got to get ahead of the ball so they can play back towards ball, and then they take that out of the equation. You can't fix a skill in terms of the placement and the delivery in the middle of game, so you might just have to tweak your tactic to allow you to do it. So yeah, I'd be saying to them, look, on a turnover, defence, bring the ball up, attack, get ahead so that you can play to ball. And actually, you know what? If Gwennon Williams is on a front hold, send it in flat and get it in, because she moves onto ball beautifully.
Definitely, absolutely agree. Well, we do see the changes happening quite often between these two teams, but we hopefully won't expect too many changes after this first quarter. As a coach, probably quite happy with performances from the first 10 minutes of that game from the starting 7. We did see Bethan Phillips take the court earlier for Northwest Fury and had a lovely combination with Lucy Leonard. So maybe we'll see something from her later.
Yeah, I'd quite like to see that one again, to be fair. I mean, nothing at all on Lucy McEwen. I just think what you get from Bethan Phillips coming in is a real strong defensive centre. And actually, I think that against Elise Hayward will be better. Elise Hayward is more of an attacking centre, so it almost counteracts that. But you know what? 13-10, 3 goals, 2 turnovers max. You probably just want to roll the dice again, keep it as it is.
Definitely. So not seeing any changes currently from Northwest Fury. And by scanning City Flames, no changes from them either. So both coaches equally happy with the teams they put on court. And 3 seconds called by Renard Reynolds. But contact called by Kath Murray's advantage will go to Northwest Fury.
It was really strong man-on-man work by Flames there, really good defence. So I think they were quite lucky to come out with that ball, Fury. But goal sunk.
So we've spoken, Vicky, about the most valuable player from last season who's now been brought up to that Wales Under-23 squad. And the opportunities these girls get from just playing this league, it's massive, isn't it?
Yeah, and I think, let me be really clear, this is a participation activity. So this tournament this league is run by our participation department, and the purpose of it is to give club players in Wales the best opportunity to fulfil their potential and play for more than just their club. It's not formally part of the Wales performance pathway that would see people go, to join the Welsh Feathers in the future. But there is naturally sort of a confidence that it gives players that then, make them think about, should I trial for the Wales under-23? Should I trial for Welsh Feathers? Because of the confidence that they've gained through National League. And we do have Welsh Feathers trials coming up in August, so any players from National League or anyone watching at home that meets the criteria to trial, by all means put your name forward. But yeah, it's a participation activity, and we have a fantastic participation team that run all of our national competitions. We've got an exciting Club Masters competition coming early in 2025, which is going to lead to really exciting things for those netballers out there that are over 35. But yeah, there's naturally a lot of past feathers in here as well. One on the ball now, Sarah Bell, been to World Cups, Commonwealth Games. And in Valley Volcanoes as well, they've got a rich talent pool from past feathers too. So yeah, really exciting competition.
Sounds absolutely wonderful, and especially for those over 35s that might think maybe I might be a little bit past it for this level of netball. Nick Cook was one.
That back now.
I was going to say, watch your language, woman.
Nick Cook was one earlier saying that she felt that she could probably play for that one and not this one.
I'm sure she could
but
do
she
both.
is an absolute machine, and she could, like you said, probably play both in the same season. But it is wonderful to see the progression, isn't it, from the inter-county sessions and tournaments we have in age groups to then be able to go on to the national one as well.
Yeah, and we used to have senior inter-counties, as I keep being reminded as I walk around today. But I think people now realise this is very different. So a league format, which essentially also has a cup competition in it in terms of the playoffs, is very different to sort of the one-day inter-counties we used to run. So it gives people opportunity to build over time, 4 match days this season as opposed to 3. So, yeah, it takes something quite special to do well in this.
It is absolutely wonderful to be able to see these teams progress throughout the year and have that extra training time with their teams, to be able to keep training and playing hard to come to this finals weekend raring and ready to go. Well, Flames have now taken the lead to 3 goals. 17 plays 14.
There just seems to me there's just a little bit of a disconnect between the Fury mid-court. That's probably, I think, 3 passes now that have gone off the side of the court. And I think if they can sort that out, which they desperately are trying to do, you can see them having those conversations. I think we're going to see that gap close. So City Flames need to capitalise on the fact that connections aren't quite there yet, because if those connections start firing, yeah, game on, watch out.
I think that's where you need Bethan Phillips on the court, personally. I think both Lucy Leonard and Lucy McEwen play a very similar attacking role in their play. And therefore, I think if you just brought Bethan Phillips on, whether you'd move Lucy Leonard up or whether you'd take Lucy Leonard off, I just think it would make a difference for them.
Well, we have seen, as mentioned, Bethan Phillips takes the court as centre court position previously, and Lucy Leonard is a very experienced goal attack. Currently, like you said, Northwest Fury not currently being able to find those little links to get the ball to the shooting circle. Because as we know, when they get to the shooting circle, it's very safe, isn't it, with Barwick and Williams?
And it's not that anyone's playing badly at all, because they're not, and everybody that's made it into a National League squad has done an excellent job and displayed really good netball. Sometimes it's just a case of, to play against a different opposition, you just need a different rotation of players.
Yeah, and it's different combinations as well. What City Flames are doing really well now is pushing them all together, and they're being encouraged to be all together. And so actually, just a change of personnel might create that width, might create a little bit of depth. So I think I completely agree. It's not any one player that's not playing well. It's the connections that aren't working.
Well, City Flames are on a bit of a roll now, when they have extended the lead to 21-14. And as we've previously mentioned a few times, that kind of morale of taking your team on a roll makes all the difference. Here goes Williams, and she gets the hand on the ball, take it up to 15 for Fury.
I'd be interested to see what happens at half-time, because City Flames have been ahead in the past and have made changes, and then the people that have come on have maybe struggled to maintain the momentum. So I'd be interested to see if that happens again, as Whoever's coming on at centre has got their bib the wrong way round.
Bethan Phillips.
Bethan Phillips is there she goes.
As we mentioned,
she's been spotted.
is coming on to centre. Lucy Leonard called time and asked to move to a wing attack, but Rhiannon Reynolds rightly said, you call time, you must come off the court. And Steffi Stutt is really trying to work hard against Tash Charles, but Charles is not giving an inch of space. No. And there is the switch between Lucy McEwen and Lucy Leonard, as if we predicted.
I actually think I called that one without knowing that was me.
Let's see what this can do. Oh, it had a lot of airtime.
Barwick again hasn't had many opportunities on the ball for this quarter, but Kath Murray blows the whistle for 3 seconds.
Do you know, it's funny because I'm allowed to say this because I'm disappearing in a minute, but I think that was quite a quick 3. But what happens is if you double pump your action as a shooter, even if you do it quickly, that it looks like it's taking more time than maybe it is. But obviously, you know, Kath Murray, sure. You know, that was a fantastic decision by Kath, and hopefully the goal shooter will have learned her lesson. Goal attack will have learned her lesson.
Very politically said from you there, Vic.
But you know what? As a coach, I always tell players, if you are unsure of whether to pass the ball or not, don't look unsure, because I think that also puts doubt in the umpire's mind as to whether it's been 3 seconds or not.
It always does.
I think you're spot on.
I always feel the same if I know 100% I cannot shoot from here. At least look like you are.
The same, but you know, not just saying, the same applies with anything. You know, if even indecision is the worst.
Yeah.
You know, if you're not sure about something, once you make the decision, you always feel a lot better, and that applies in every area of life, kids. You know, not just netball.
We're getting deep on this during this game.
Oh, great ball and great
much better
drive.
Ball to Lucy Leonard.
Game on.
That's the circle edge that you get with Lucy Leonard at wing attack rather than at centre. At centre, it's all played in the bit above the top of the circle.
Steffi Stutt comes alive in that circle and keeps her balance. And that's the confidence boost she needed. And a tap on the back from Charles for that one, but Burgess on the other side.
Fast feet, Gwenann Williams.
Fast feet from Gwenann Williams, but not enough to keep her on side.
Did Gwenann Williams do some commentary yesterday? Was that her that I heard?
No, it was Simone Gould that came up
was
yesterday
it?
From Fury.
Fantastic. Whoever it was, they did a brilliant job.
There goes Charles. Popping that one right in to take the score to 25-16.
I'm going to leave you at half-time. I'm sure those of you listening at home won't be too upset by that. But our sponsor, Flea TV, who specialise in electric vehicles, have bought one of their brand new Teslas down. And you can actually do karaoke while the car is stationary, obviously. So we're going to go outside and do some karaoke in a Flea TV electrical car. I think Georgia Jenkins is going to be my first victim. So I'm going to go and manage that and film it for all to see. But it's been a pleasure, and keep up the good work, you two. You're much better commentators than I ever was, so well done.
Thank you so much for joining us, Vic. What an absolute pleasure. And do make sure to keep an eye on the Wales Netball socials to catch all the victims that Vicky Sutton is grabbing into that Tesla to do some karaoke, whilst Nat Pepper and I will continue to analyse this game that is fast becoming very interesting between City Flames and Northwest Fury.
It really is, and this attack and defence battle between Charles and Studd is still delivering all the thrills and spills. Key the ball, Phillips, there was 3 seconds.
Oh, and at the end of that quarter, it's always running down the clock, isn't it? City Flames take the lead again, 26 plays 17.
I'm really consistent on their score. They scored another 13, didn't they? And it was actually the fact that they kept Northwest Fury down to 7 that time.
7 goals for Northwest Fury compared to that 13 City Flames. It is, like you said, consistency, isn't it, for City Flames? They're moving the ball well and they're spreading play, whilst also Charles is finding space better.
Yeah, they've literally finished the last game playing really well, and they've started this game how they meant to go on. The disconnects that they had in the day yesterday are not there anymore. Charles is finding some great space. They're feeding her really well. I did think that the battle between her and Stud was going to be evenly matched, but I think Charles is winning that quite substantially at the minute. But again, we talked about this, having a really tall, strong shooter. You can't win ball one-on-one when the ball is circle edge, and City Flames are bringing it beautifully through the court. What they need to do is try and hold them up and win ball early. Now, that's a lot easier said than done against Sarah Bell and Elise Hayward, who move at the speed of light.
Absolutely. But City Flames, as we are just looking at the scores from yesterday as well, City Flames have doubled their score in both quarters from yesterday, almost doubled in the first one. They scored 7 in the first quarter against Fury yesterday and 13 in the first one here. And now by the end of the second quarter into half-time, 13 goals yesterday, 26 now today. So something has really changed in them.
Yeah, and actually, as you allude to the scores, it's pretty much similar in terms of goals scored for Northwest Fury. So it is City Flames that have changed their style. And I genuinely do think it's just they've started to connect. We talked in the last game that they played about the fact that Sarah Bell and Elise Hayward, that way round at centre wing attack, is working wonderfully for them. They're keeping their space. And Radcliffe and Charles are working well together. And Charles is just so available. And she's shooting really well, and if she doesn't go in, which is rare, she's getting those rebounds. So it must be, honestly, you must be looking at her going, how do I play against this woman? She is phenomenal today.
She is having a great day today indeed, and City Flames are also riding on that high of having their win this morning against West Wales Phoenix, which makes all the difference, doesn't it, from coming off a win after, as we mentioned earlier with Vicky, they have been coming in 5 of teams, they have been picking up points, but it's just that feeling of winning a match makes a difference, doesn't it?
Yeah, and I think on court they look as though they've got a better vibe about them as well. Like, culture is so key, and you can tell the teams that are connected. Now, to me, Northwest Fury are well connected. You see Gwen and Williams high-fiving the teams as they come off, and they always seem tight, but from City Flames, I haven't necessarily got that vibe all the way through, but today there just seems to be almost a different air about them.
Definitely a different air about City Flames today. Well, Northwest Fury taking on advice from coaches Safira Fisher and Simone Gould on the side of the court, looking for any changes, maybe hoping to see that combination of Phillips and Leonard. McEwen is a wonderful wing attack. She can move ball through court lovely and create that space, but maybe sometimes, as we mentioned yesterday, it's not the player on the court, but it's who you're playing against, right?
No, yeah, and I think I'm quite pleased that that Bethan Phillips has come on. I think for me it's more the fact that Bethan Phillips and Lucy Leonard together play in different areas of the court. Like we said during the game, what was happening for Northwest Fury was you had Bowick, McEwen and Leonard all in a line at the top of the circle, which is really easy pickings, and they're putting a lot more pressure on, or City Flames are being able to put a lot more pressure on. Now you've got Leonard punching a lot deeper because she's got that wing attack bib on. Phillips playing a bit further back. It's just created a little bit more space.
So that change of personnel for Fury making that little bit of a difference, so they can add in a little bit more options to their play going into that second half. Just looking to see if there are any further changes going into the second half of the game. No changes for West Wales, Northwest Fury. And from looking at City Flames, no changes for them either. So both coaches happy with their last 7.
And I'm not surprised that there's no changes, to be fair. I do think this is now a big ask for Fury, because I think Flames have the capacity to put scores on the board quickly. But we shall see.
We shall see indeed. Sarah Bell in that wing attack position. Recycling ball. Oh. And a lovely one too. That switch again from Bell and Elise Hayward.
Couldn't quite keep that in, Dudson, but time to put pressure on again.
And there is Tizzy Birchurst. Defensive workhorse, finds Radcliffe.
Good hustle by Phillips.
Elise Hayward will take her time for this one. And contact is called against both defenders
I
on
think
Charles.
Inevitable contact, I think, maybe, because they weren't giving her any space to move.
And there is Leonard finding Barwick. He does find Williams, swings to Phillips.
That's
and a
nice.
lovely run by Barwick.
Lots of space down that attacking end. That was really nice work.
So 10 goals now, the deficit between these two.
Oh, great arms.
Oliver Smith. Tash Charles. Couldn't find Radcliffe on the back line. Hits the post instead.
I think she was signalling to the umpire that she felt she was contacted, but...
Kath Murray having none of that.
Lovely.
We've turned into one another after spending so much time together.
That was a great drive, though. Like Bethan Phillips, circle edge. Stunning.
And there is Williams. Williams, such a composed, cool character. Never seems to get frustrated or annoyed. Better from Fury here. Good work from Barwick. Trying to spread that defensive duo of Birchurst and Brown.
This is like a little injection of pace here from Fury. They have to chip away one goal at a time. It'll work. They just need to keep chipping.
And a pop over the top from Radcliffe to Charles. Well, Fury have already taken the deficit down to 8. 4 turnovers, the challenge.
Lovely ball over. Great front space from Williams.
Just slightly short. And Dudson fingertips on that ball. Oh,
Yeah.
what a ball. Vision from Caitlin Bennett to give that ball to Radcliffe on the baseline.
Yeah, really nice. I'm not sure whether the double currently the two staffs are putting on at the back, goalkeeper, goal defence, is necessarily working. I know they're not sending the ball in straight to Charles, but what they are allowing by doing that double too soon is they're allowing Radcliffe to run a bit of a show.
And a turnover from the defensive workings of City Flames. And a wonderful ball from Sarah Bell to Radcliffe. Again, running that baseline so effortlessly.
Yeah, and it's because the double doesn't stop it. So by dropping in on the double, they're just allowing her a bit more freedom.
2 defenders, both staffs of the Northwest Fury on Charles, and both, like you said, not concentrating on Radcliffe, who is a threat herself.
And all that hard work.
Oh, and an unfortunate drop there from Fury, allowing Elise Hayward to take the ball on the run, but wasn't quite balanced for the pass.
No, but in fairness, again, yesterday we talked about when you've earned something, they've earned the right to push themselves now and to see what the edge of their limits can be. You know, they're 10 goals up, so as long as she doesn't send it again, it's not a problem.
And a tip from Caitlin Bennett.
Good holding from Leonard for the space.
Nice space. Olivia Brown wasn't drawn by Barwick. But Williams holds off Tizzy Birchurst. Williams and Birchurst play in the same club down here in Cardiff, so very well known to each other. Styles of play very similar. Sarah Bell wanted to give that ball to Charles, but Stutt was all over it. Stutt did well then to go back and up in the air, didn't she, instead of just following the ball.
Yeah, she did. It was good defensive work, and I think that's what you can get from her if you leave a one-on-one. pressure the feed, get the arms over, and allow Stutt to do that job.
This is better from Fury,
Oh.
but Olivia Brown just tips that over the back line.
Yeah, Fury again probably just need to play a bit more to circle edge. When they play it to circle edge and then in, it's stunning. If you're sending it in too early when you've got Brown off the body and on her feet, she can get to ball.
Williams takes the score up to 31-23.
Now let's see if they can keep their centre pass this time. Last time they chipped away, they gave it away.
Oh, Williams with that little sneaky pass to Barwick, but she was not ready for it.
No, and it was frustrating, isn't it? They do all that work to turn over the centre pass and then it's gone. The depth from Sarah Bell is stunning, but
footwork call. I agree with the umpire on that one, I think.
Great.
Again, Lucy Leonard on the run, player on her back. Maybe a fake could have been better for that one.
Yeah, possibly, or just the placement. Sometimes you don't want it all in the air where it can be contested. You just want it into the space they're running into. And again, another gift almost.
Placement of those fees to Williams also just lacking a bit from Fury now. Radcliffe, that lovely sweep run.
Yeah.
52-23 now the score. Well, Fury did well to claw this back to an 8-goal deficit. But if Flames sink this one, it will be a 10-goal again.
And that was a great fake over to Radcliffe. Didn't send it to Charles. All the tools of the toolbox, Sarah Bell.
2 minutes now, just under 2 minutes on the clock of this third quarter. 5th, 6th position playoff. And Tizzy Birchers does enough to back Ellen Barwick off the ball.
Yeah, I mean, she's been great all day today, hasn't she? She's just continuing that job. Just getting involved, getting a hand in, disrupting play.
Sarah Bell. Radcliffe resets to Bennett. Bell working hard against Phillips.
Good.
Sneaky little 1-2s.
Yeah, good hand in from Phillips. Good to keep pressuring it, but just smart playing, moving the ball, creating the space.
And a lovely lift from Bell to Charles. That placement from Bell is always on point, isn't it?
It is, and you know what? Radcliffe drew the defence off literally by running a whole circle around Charles.
But Oliver Smith tips that ball out of Radcliffe's hands. And Lucy Leonard in acres of space in the pocket. Lovely ball to Williams. What a wonderful split landing.
Yeah, right under the post. Stunning.
She could split, I think, the whole length of the circle, Gwen-Anne Williams.
We've got 25 seconds.
Leonard takes the contact from Bennett. Williams positioning her body over and over again, but Barwick goes herself, and Birchhurst on the baseline. What balance, knowing that Tash Charles wants it.
Yeah, there was lots of time to get that in. They didn't need to rush it, but you know what? They're 10 goals ahead, so it doesn't really matter.
And there is the buzzer for the quarter time at the end of the third quarter. City Flames lead 34 goals to 24. 10 goals now the lead in comparison to the 9 goals lead we had at half time. Well, Fury brought that back a little bit towards the middle, but again, we see this a little bit from Fury. They kind of go out and they take that quarter by the reins, but they tend to lose composure, they lose their placement. What do they need to do to just keep themselves in the game?
It's basically exactly what you said. They've turned over a centre pass, and then we talk in coaching about critical moments. And yeah, don't get me wrong, every possession you want to look after. But actually, once you've turned over a centre pass, the way you win a game is by then keeping possession of your own centre pass. So likelihood is that you go to what's your safest centre pass, your most effective centre pass. You obviously can't do that all the time throughout the game because everyone would always know what you're doing. But once you've turned over a centre pass, do something that's familiar, something that's safe. Play short ball, play safe ball. Don't put yourself on too much extension. And it's hard work to do that. That's why you don't necessarily do it all the time. It's hard work to keep coming to ball. But actually, they're the critical moments. You've given yourself the opportunity to then claw one back. The problem that they've had is they've done a really good job. They've turned over a centre pass. They've taken it to goal. And then City Flames, to their credit, have stepped up a gear in their defence. And they've just turned it back over. And I don't think Northwest Fury have quite had the focus to keep that composure.
Well, we do know that Northwest Fury love taking games to playoffs. They did win their playoffs last year. There is a lot of work to do here, though, for one quarter, isn't there, for a 10-goal deficit?
There is. You know what? It's 10 in 10 minutes. It is doable, but I don't think it's doable against City Flames because of how well they're playing. Let's not take anything away from them. They have literally gone home, done their homework, and they have stepped up. And the double is, it's just not effective on Charles. I know she's a big threat, but I think they're underestimating Radcliffe. She's just creating mayhem.
She is, and she is lethal in that goal attack, babe, especially when she's left all on her own to do what she wants in that combination with Hayward and Bell as well, because they will just play the ball between them all day long, and Radcliffe will shoot from anywhere.
Yeah, exactly, and it allows them to get depth. She's almost the outlet. Every time that City Flames are under pressure, if there's a double on Charles, then she's always free, so it always releases that pressure. And we've seen City Flames crumble before, but we've seen them crumble under pressure. You can't create that if someone's always free.
Absolutely agree. Well, City Flames take the court again with no changes to their 7. They are finishing out this game, this last quarter, with the same 7 that started. However, Northwest Fury have made a couple of changes, a switch around in that defensive circle. Steffi Stutt comes out to goal defence, and Steph Oliver-Smith into goalkeeper, and on to goal attack comes Cassie O'Gilvy. We haven't seen much of her this weekend, but she played exceptionally well in Bangor and Ebbw Vale, so nice to see some fresh legs on in that goal attack position for Northwest Fury.
Yeah, and you know what? Fortune favours the brave, doesn't it? You might as well make a change, because sometimes the theory goes, doesn't it? You do the same thing, you get the same results. And just an injection of pace might give the defence something to think about, but not if they pass the obvious ball.
Well, Olivia Brown read that ball and took it away. But a turnover again here for Fury.
Yeah, I mean, if she defends like that through the court, then great change.
Cassie O'Gilvy already making an impact after only a few seconds on the court. Here is her first shot. Couldn't quite sink that one, but of course Gwennan Williams scoops it up.
I'm not sure how it landed with Gwennan Williams.
I think we say that every game.
Yeah, she just seems to come out with the ball. Like, you blink and she's got the ball.
Well, we will see now if Steffi Stutt was going for that ball for Charles, but Charles got there first. I'm hoping Stutt doesn't leave Radcliffe now go and just again cause that mayhem.
It's tricky, isn't it? Because I think Stutt is the one that's got the jump height to go on Radcliffe. I would have kept them the same and had her one-on-one and got Oliver Smith to step up a bit more, but it could be that they wanted to run out on interceptions through the midcourt.
She does have a great eye for flies, Steffi Stutt, but Cassie O'Gilvy sank her first shot and the crowd loved that. Lace Hayward placing the ball really well for Charles.
It's almost just like she's delivering a gift, isn't it? Just rolls in.
This is for you. In the space away from defence. What more do you want from your feeders? And a turnover again here for City Flames. Lucy Leonard penalised for contact. But it's that first ball again, that first ball after turnover given away. Oh, what just happened to Gwennan Williams? The bench of City Flames are clapping.
Someone turned that into a GIF. That's great.
And Oliver Smith on the turnover of Charles.
I mean, what a way to lift your team.
Gwenna Williams still can't quite believe it, but she'd rather do that again.
Yeah, a little bit of magic. Always here for a little bit of magic.
And there it is. When the opposition claps for you, you know it's good.
Yeah. I think everybody clapped in the arena for that one.
Ogilvy just rolled over the net.
Lovely shot.
And Williams again. Bethan Phillips crashes through Hayward. Hayward not happy about that one, but takes play quickly.
Yeah, and I think that was smart to deliver it really quickly because the defence weren't set up.
Well, Lucy Leonard saw Williams in space. Quick turn to post. It's like we said, it's the ball you don't want to see given, but happy arrives.
And in fairness now, if I was a coach, I'd be saying, send it in. If you see it, send it. The scoreline doesn't allow you to do anything else.
8 goals the difference between these two teams. Soon to be 9 if Charles puts this in the net. And there
Lovely.
it is, Tash Charles. Not someone to be cursed by the commentators.
Here we go again.
Oh, and not quite for that one. But they do win the back line, and what a fast one it was from Cassie Ogilvy. Williams, ball taken away for it.
Lovely shot. She's going to keep posting up for that long ball. Just eats into time. City Flames won't mind the time being eaten into.
Oh, Radcliffe straight through her fingers.
This is almost a reverse of the game yesterday. Northwest Fury went miles ahead, and then City Flames started to chip back a little too late. But
Charles just trying to slow him down. Jamal Abbott, head coach of City Flames, screaming at her team for discipline. Elise Hayward pulled for contact deep down the court.
oh, both out.
And there is Cassie Ogilvy.
Turn and send it. Oh, not this time. She's looking in each time, though.
She is looking. And Williams knows it's coming at one point or the other. Oh! She didn't want that one, though. She gave it back.
Lovely shot.
Wonderful work. It's creeping back for Northwest Fury. 33 plays 39. 6 goals the difference now. Sarah Bell screaming at her players. And nice little ball from Bennett. Oh, Radcliffe was there for Charles.
Great stretch. Oh. And you get the feeling that if this goes in, that's just maybe the game.
Is that the game? 3.5 minutes left on the clock. 40 goals, plays 33. Williams is there. Leonard and Williams, this connection they've got for that ball.
She just repositions herself to be on the front to hold to post, Williams, so well. And you know, the frustration, again, as I say before, for the coaches must be, why didn't we just do that to start off with?
Well,
it made it so much easier.
Gwenna Williams has really got Olivia Brown on the back foot. But so does Chas Charles and Radcliffe with Stutt and Oliver Smith.
And there it is again.
There it goes
I'm loving
again.
it. She positions for it so well.
But didn't quite want that one. Williams just too far out from her range. As shooters, we know we'd rather not put it up than miss.
But absolutely clinical through court from City Flames. Well
Fast,
played.
effective, sharp movements from Flames.
That was literally a response of, just in case you weren't clear, we are winning this game. Lovely from Bell, lovely placement. Happy to just move it round, Flames, no
Just
rush.
keeping the ball moving, but Charles apologises as it goes off her fingers. 2 minutes now left on the clock. Can Fury produce some magic? And Caitlin Bennett thought she won the ball from Lucy Leonard.
Shoot it.
Just a little extra step Williams wanted.
Lovely.
And she has the action, she has the ability to put that ball in the net. 35 plays
Here
42.
Oh,
Lucy Leonard wanted to give it. But now Birchurst has read what's happening and has gone straight back, hasn't she, onto Gwen-Anne Williams. Clever play from Birchurst.
Yeah, really smart. It was almost like, right, that's enough of that.
Oh, lovely ball again from Elise Hayward. Tash Charles did step in, but the distance from Oliver Smith was still too short. 9 goal, the difference still. And Williams comes out of the circle, caught by Bennett. And what a lovely shot from Cassie Ogilvie.
What's nice as well is Williams was pointing, just stick it up. She got herself ready for the rebound and back to a goal attack, just shoot it.
Steffi Stutz, wonderful work from her. That's what we like to see. But Sarah Bell chasing that ball down.
What a spectacle to finish this game. I feel like we've been treated to some amazing netball so far in these placing games.
And there's only more to come.
5 seconds left. Is there going to be time for another play of the game?
Well, Caitlin Bennett denies Northwest Fury a goal at the end. Final score here for the 5th, 6th positioning. City Flames 45, Northwest Fury 36. Well, what a match that was. No extra time, no golden goal, but plenty of stuff to take home for both teams. I'm out of breath.
Yeah, I mean, they should both be really proud of that. Northwest Fury won that last quarter by 1. And I think, you know, that goes to the fact they were putting on slightly different tactics and strategies. And it could have been that they got that quarter by more, but fair play to City Flames. They just went, nah, we're going to take that back, and really pushed on. It was great.
Wonderful play here. Well, the next game we have coming up will be the 4th versus 3rd position in Coastal Heat. Will take on Southeast Blaze, and it will be a spicy match to watch. Join us just before 4:05 for that one, because you will not want to miss it. Croeso nôl, prynawn da. Welcome back and good afternoon to day 2 finals weekend here at the House of Sport in Cardiff for the Fleet EV National League. Well, it is shaping up to be one crazy afternoon for these final placement playoffs. We are currently looking at the 4th and 5th positionings. 4th and 3rd positionings, apologies. We just watched 6th and 5th position with Northwest Fury and City Flames. City Flames taking that win with 10 goal deficit. Now we are looking at who is going to become 3rd place 3rd and place 4th in this competition. Coastal Heat takes on Southeast Blaze, the Printco sponsored Coastal Heat versus the MechTech Professionals, Southeast Blaze in the red. So going through the starting sevens for these two teams then. In the purple for Coastal Heat, goal shooter Chloe James, goal attack Chloe Evans, wing attack Emily Edwards, centre Megan Thomas, wing defence Megan Baker-Rees, goal defence Sarah Langford, and goalkeeper Liv Hollis. In the red for Southeast Blaze, goal shooter Charlotte Lewis, goal attack Abby Meredith, wing attack Rebecca Baker, centre Charlotte Scarborough, wing defence Eloise Spacey, goal defence Brooke Collette, and goalkeeper Katie Rees. The umpires looking after this game for these placements will be Llynos Jones and Claire Williams. Well, I am excited for this game, Nat. What about you?
Yeah, I mean, just looking at those lineups, I'm like literally cross-checking them and going, oh, that'll be a good matchup. Oh, that'll be a good matchup. Oh, so all that. I mean, the speed of Chloe Evans against the speed of Brooke Collette, the smarts of Meg Baker-Rees against the smarts of Beck Baker. It's literally player-for-player matchups galore on court for this game.
And all that we saw from the last time Southeast Blaze took the court was tips and tricks and turnovers from the arms of Spacey and Scarborough and Collette and Rees and even Baker, taking all those balls away from Northwest Fury. So maybe a little bit more of that happening on this one as well.
Yeah, absolutely. And also, you know, as far as attacking prowess is concerned, we know that both of these teams can shoot. We've seen Charlotte Lewis really strong on the rebounds. We've seen Chloe James really strong on the rebounds. So it really is a battle of minds as well as a battle of bodies out there. And I think it's too close to call.
I don't think I can call it either, because we know just how defensive Southeast can be. But we know how hard Coastal Heat can work as well. One of the newer 2 additions this year to the Fleet EV National League, Coastal Heat. Second one, of course, being Power Sparks. Well, we know Langford and Hollis in that back defensive circle for Coastal Heat can show some magic of their own. So let's see what these two teams can bring as Charlotte Scarborough for Southeast Blaze takes the first centre pass.
And the atmosphere already in the arena as well is really amazing. You can feel it. It's a bit electric for those on court. Will it help or hinder them? We are yet to see.
Well, Meredith tries to kick off the scoring, but Liv Hollis takes the rebound, only as far as Rebecca Baker.
And there's your first tip, trick and turnover that you talked about.
And there's the second from Langford.
Lovely out by Lewis, just creating the space.
And Meredith just arriving onto the ball slightly off. So Coastal Heat now get to capitalise on that turnover, but that ball from Megan Thomas in the centre, just not finding a player.
No, and I think this is almost a prime example of early nerves. Just need to put touch on the feed. Just need to make sure the passes are accurate.
Absolutely vital now for these two teams to keep their cool. Charlotte Lewis off the post. Liv Hollis tries to calm her team down.
Yeah, and a great rebound position as well from Liv Hollis. Again, they've had time to look at each other, these teams. And she'll see how good Charlotte Lewis is at rebounding, so she knows she's got to get a good position.
Emily Edwards finds Chloe Evans.
Just a bit cluttered here for Coastal Heat.
And there is Charlotte Scarborough with those long arms. And again, Charlotte Scarborough. But as Brooke Collette is pulled for obstruction.
Lovely.
Lovely work by the two Chloes in that circle. Chloe Evans really opening up play. And Chloe James just turning around for that quick pass.
Yeah, that was a textbook set play from them, wasn't it? And when we talked in an earlier game about the fact that you don't have to have both shooters in the circle for a 2-on-1, you can open it up like that.
Well, footwork call from Claire Williams, and I must say I do agree with that. Emily Edwards attempted to land 2 feet at a time, but one just got there before the other. But then Meg Baker-Rees, we have spoken about her athleticism, how strong she is, how she takes players away from the game.
Smart to wait and reset.
Oh, and Brooke Collette on full extension for that tip. Chloe Evans will capitalise instead.
Baker looking for a reset. There's no one there. She's had to go long.
And Collette just overcooks the ball and Thomas picks it up.
Lovely ball and placement to Chloe James.
A shake of the post called, but Williams, the umpire, does not agree.
I think they were all in
there
that space.
There is Spacey. And Megan Thomas, the one on the floor, is the one being pulled for contact. There is Charlotte Scarborough finding Meredith. And the space was there, wasn't it? But the ball was just off.
And I think this is just, it's the start of the game. That's twice they've tried to fire a bullet at Meredith. Just play her in gently, take it to the circle edge and give a nice easy ball in. You don't have to fire it in at 100 miles an hour to start off with. Hate to sound like a stuck record, but you earn the right to fire it in.
And the calls we get from Wendy Blethin, the Coastal Heat coach at the side, is watch the arms. Watch the arms of South East Blaze. So they are learning from Northwest Fury's mistakes earlier in the day, because the arms of South East Blaze are lethal.
There we go. That's a nice ball to Meredith.
Much better play there from South East Blaze.
Lovely second phase depth.
And there are those arms from Charlotte Scarborough.
You need to fake Scarborough.
You cannot get away from Charlotte Scarborough's arms.
Lovely backup from Spacey and Collette.
Looking for easy balls in. Better from Blaze. Liv Hollis pulled for contact on Charlotte Lewis. And there is the goal from Charlotte Lewis to take the score 2-2. Over 5 minutes, over 6 minutes of the game played, and the score quite low, Nat.
Yeah, it's really low, and you know what? That's testament to the defensive prowess, but also I think to the fact that through court they're doing well to keep possession. They're being quite patient, so that's running the clock down. But also, a couple of errors on those last balls in.
Again, the arms of Eloise Spacey and Katie Rees. And Brooke Collette tipped the rebound, trying to block out Chloe James. But it's pulled for contact. Chloe James won't miss the second time.
No, and that was nice and patient, wasn't it? Much better from them.
Much better from Coastal Heat, working their way in, and what a ball that was from Edwards to Evans. Chloe James.
Oh, stunning. Stunning fast work.
Outstanding work from Chloe James, wasn't it?
Yeah, and it's so funny, you don't normally see a shoot a ball that takes them further out, but actually the setup created a fantastic strategy.
She's just creating space for herself.
Contact against Baker. Hard defence running through on ball from Coastal Heat.
Evans to Edwards. To James. Katie Reese is pulled for contact.
Yeah, she took a big knock there, Chloe James, which doesn't look phased at all.
And
Lovely.
there is James to take the goal difference now to 3.
Lovely from Evans.
Oh, Chloe Evans. Wonderful shooting action from Chloe Evans, and the West crowd here loving it.
Oh, well caught, Meredith.
Sarah Langford on the tip, on the steal.
And there's a couple of players in this tournament that step into the pass, and they step in and they're waiting for the obstruction call. And if it's not coming, they need to stop stepping in. Give themselves room. Lovely positioning by Chloe James on the front. So hard to get around that hold.
Well, Coastal Heat now trying to build on this lead.
Oh.
Chloe James again holding space against Reese, but then jumping into the space she's created for herself.
Yeah, smart. Beck Baker weighing up her options.
Baker Reese trying to take out Scarborough out of the game. And Meredith with that long shot.
She's been so accurate all weekend, and she's continuing. Was that Scarborough's arms?
Scarborough's arms again. They're going to have to give Scarborough a trophy for most tips, I think.
For Scarborough's arms.
Just called Scarborough's arms.
Yeah, good call, footwork.
And a forced footwork there from Chloe Evans. Forced by the defensive pressure of Colette and Reese. Scarborough. Play opening up wide here for South East Blaze.
She's getting caught on the same side of it, Beck Baker and Scarborough, but she finds a way through Scarborough.
And Charlotte Lewis can capitalise on that. 8 goals, play 4.
This is a good response by Blaze, getting themselves right back in this game.
Oh, and Liv Hollis. It was textbook fly, textbook steal.
Superb play.
And the clock is on 6 seconds. Chloe James will have to sink this one, and she does. Of course she does.
What a reward
and
for such
Meg
an awesome...
Thomas will be in no rush to take that centre pass. What a starting quarter between these two teams for third, fourth positioning. Both coaches would be very happy with that performance. But Coastal Heat currently in the lead with 9 goals to South East Blazers 4. What a start.
Yeah, and you know, I think the errors from Blaze were right at the beginning. We talked about them firing those balls in. They started to find a bit of touch on the ball, which was better. And they just need to play that patient, play it to circle edge. And when they do, just give an easy ball into your shooters. But in fairness to Coastal Heat, they have also won ball. That last turnover was superb. I mean, otherwise we'd been looking at 8-5 rather than 9-4, which is a huge difference actually at the beginning of the game.
It is, isn't it? And it's a big difference to come back onto the second quarter as well with an 8-5 rather than a 9-4, because now there's a 5-goal difference. And depending on who centre pass it is, obviously Coastal Heat, because they didn't take that centre pass, now it's going to be, could be a 10-4 going into second quarter.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, in fairness to Coastal Heat as well, they have done a superb job all the way through the court so far. The smarts down the attacking end in terms of just bodying up, the drives of Chloe Evans to open up Chloe James, that 2-on-1 pass where they opened it up by swinging it over and then playing it in on the hold. Like, that kind of stuff is just that smart play. It takes the defence out of the game.
And that's the kind of skill that comes with playing over time. And Chloe James has been a player that's grown and grown through the netball levels here. Previous Welsh player in age groups and previous NPL player with Dragons, and I know you've watched her play. I've grown watching her play, and she always brings that extra level of just quick hands, quick ball. It's just stunning, isn't it, to watch that?
It really is. I mean, Chloe James was one of my under-21 athletes. We went to Botswana, the World Youth Cup, and she was that person that you put on the court to calm everything down and secure things that needed securing. And I think she's just grown throughout. So not only now do you get that smart, calm, composed play, you also get the speed of hand and the speed of footwork, which is just unbeatable when she's confident.
Absolutely. Well, Southeast Blaze, we have seen again the arms of Charlotte Scarborough, the jumps of Brooke Collette, just the way these girls are able to turn over balls so quickly and so efficiently, sometimes without even thinking about it. When Coastal Heat are letting go of the ball, we hear Bev Ryan on the side and Wendy Blethen shouting, watch the arms.
Yeah, and I find like watching the benches really interesting as well at the moment. You've got Coastal Heat who have gone for a huddle, and they're obviously getting input from their coach. And actually the coaches have sat down for Southeast Blaze, and Southeast Blaze are just sat. Obviously they've been told what job it is they've got to do, and I'm assuming the fact that they're not getting too much input is the fact that the coach has said, I've told you what you need to do. You just need to actually do it.
Well, Rebecca Baker, one of the player coaches we have here in the league, playing wing attack at the moment for Southeast Blaze, which have no changes on court. Neither do Coastal Heat.
And I think on that, we have to credit how hard it is to be a player coach as well, especially we talk about doing it from a mid-court position, because you're so involved in the play to then actually see it and be able to deliver that feedback is really difficult. So every credit to Rebecca Baker.
Absolutely, especially if you're playing it from a goalkeeper or a goal shooter, you can see much more of the court, but sometimes you can't see what's going wrong unless you are watching, can't you? So Rebecca Baker's job is definitely much harder.
Yeah, and that ball just needed to be a 1 second ball or her change of option. Lovely challenge for the rebound by Lewis. Makes it 4 with Meredith.
And again by Lewis. And this time scores.
That's good. They still need to start to try and chip away at the score now. It's great defence on the through court, both Meredith and Baker.
Great take by Thomas.
Spacey just hedging, taking her feet round. Scarborough. Oh. James nails it.
Yes, Chloe James again. Scarborough finds Meredith. Again, Scarborough goes deep into pocket. And Sarah Langford comes around Charlotte Lewis to steal that ball.
Yeah, I think Meredith's circle entry as a goal attack is just too narrow. She's coming in through play, so ultimately it cuts off the ball to Beck Baker and shuts down the options in that respect. She needs to probably come wide and enter from the other side. That's not to say it wasn't a stunning turnover.
Emily Edwards, deep in the other pocket, finds Chloe James.
And this is now starting to create a big gap, isn't it?
Well, the gap now, like you said, 12 goals to 5.
That was the hands in of Scarborough's arms, but it still lands with Coastal Heat. And goal secured again by Chloe James.
Scarborough.
Langford obviously wants a bit. Langford arms.
Southeast Blaze just being patient. There's Lewis coming on to ball. And there is that nice long shot, high shot from Lewis, just dropping nicely into the goal.
Oh, those feet.
Fast feet, fast hands. Every day of the week by Chloe James.
And it's tricky for Reese because if she stood on the side to try and block that goal line run, then James will just run the front.
Meredith on the back line. And Liv Hollis really wanted that one, didn't she?
I thought she'd completely tipped it, but no, contact called. They're staying in the game just here. Southeast Blaze.
7 goals, the difference between these two teams. And Chloe James is pulled for replay ball by Llynos Jones.
The option was back. She should have reset. Strong from Baker Reeves.
Options all over the court now for Coastal Heat. Nice positioning from Chloe Evans, but Chloe James couldn't quite find her.
No, and they'd done a really good ball side position through the court there, and it was just that final one where it wasn't really on.
Brooke Collette came through for that ball, but left it for Spacey.
Long shot.
Just rolled off, but well done, Chloe Evans. Working hard for that rebound.
Again, the shortest person in the circle.
Very
proves that shorties can shoot as well.
Shortest person in that circle, absolutely. Height isn't everything, but what a ball by Rebecca Baker to Meredith, who can also show what she can do being the shortest in their circle.
What a shot. Oh, Spacey again. Straight into her arms.
Wonderful work from Spacey.
Their 3-foot mark is absolutely sublime, Southeast Blaze, but Baker can't quite keep that under control.
And Coastal Heat have really changed things up about the throwing the ball around and watching the arms, haven't they? Especially of Charlotte Scarborough and Brooke Collette. They're looking now, just before passing the ball, they're just having a quick look on those flies, on those arms.
Contact against Lewis. Frustration, no doubt, for her.
What a run by Megan Thomas. And Spacey with those arms again.
The good thing about being circle edge is it shouldn't get arms in the way there.
Chloe James takes the score to 16-8. 8 goals now, the difference.
It's a bigger gap than I thought it would be, I'm not going to lie, but I still don't think this game is over yet.
Absolutely not. It could be a game of 2 halves here. Nice high shot from Lewis, but is just off, and Hollis collects off the back line.
Yeah, good decision just to reset there. Being patient on the ball, making sure they maintain possession. Oh, footwork.
Unfortunate there for Baker Reese. Meredith out to Scarborough.
Oh,
and what a lovely shot by Abigail Meredith. Well, Chloe Evans now chasing the ball for the back line. And again, we'll take Chloe James now. Lovely shot by Chloe James. Scarborough back into the middle, and Brooke Collette wonderfully up the court.
Lovely reset. Her movement is really nice, but just being covered by Coastal Heat.
And what a shot that was from Charlotte Lewis, taking the score now to 17-10.
And again, just that front positioning and then the hold from James.
Oh, the space James has there on the back line. Makes it difficult for Reese to get around. She's a different shooter, isn't he? It's like a tall holding shooter.
Yeah,
it's harder
absolutely.
to work around it.
What a turnover.
Oh, Chloe Evans almost stole that ball away from Colette.
Scarborough, long swing. Can hear someone in the crowd saying, don't stand, urging them to meet the ball. Another attempt for Meredith. Oh, it's just unfortunate. 20 seconds left on the clock here. 8 goals the difference. Plenty of time to get this down to make it 9. Not sure whether they're aware of the clock. Oh, Reese is.
So is Baker Reese.
She was aware of the clock as well. She came straight through. And that is the end of that half. It's 18 goals to Coastal Heat, 10 goals to South East Blaze. What a quarter. And the difference here is, you know, it's 9 goals again for Coastal Heat. South East Blaze taking themselves to 6 goals in that quarter. So it's pretty balanced still in terms of their improving South East Blaze, and Coastal Heat are just being consistent. I think what Coastal Heat are doing really, really well is they're sitting ball side quite a lot all the way through. So they're taking the defence out of the equation, which is really smart if they've done their homework against Spacey and Scarborough in particular in that centre and wing defence position. By staying ball side, it just means that they're taking the arms out of the equation. So it's an easy pass down. And then Chloe James obviously has so many skills. She can hold the back, she can hold the front. Sometimes I think they've rushed that last swing around the circle or that last feed in, but apart from that, it's been pretty much spot on. For South East Blaze, it's just trying to get that ball into the circle. They're playing quite narrow sometimes. And in fairness to Coastal Heat, it's their footwork and their defensive prowess that they're running on stuff. It's making it harder for them to see something clearly. So it really is a game here that Coastal Heat are taking the win on. South East Blaze coaches now, with a little bit of time, you can see them in their little units talking to try and work out what it is that they can do. Possibly some personnel changes. I think with 8 goals, the difference, a change possibly has to be made because it's currently not necessarily working as they would have hoped for South East Blaze. That is for Coastal Heat. Looking across, can't see any. Oh, there is a bib change over there as well, so maybe they're confident to put some fresh legs on, although a change not necessarily needed for them. This is the 3rd and 4th place playoff, so whoever wins this is bronze medalists in this competition. We've had so far today the 6th to 8th playoffs already. City Flames in the last game beating now Northwest Fury, which was a turnaround compared to their game yesterday. Feisty and furious, but an amazing game to watch, and City Flames are one that have really impressed and improved in this competition today. Before that was West Wales Phoenix taking on Power Sparks at the bottom of the table, and at West Wales Phoenix coming out victorious in that game, just beating Power Sparks, but it went all the way to the wire. The first time that we've had extra time here in this National League competition, and my goodness, didn't it make it exciting? Goal for goal the whole way through. But unfortunately in sport there has to be a winner, and there was a winner, and it was West Wales Phoenix. So wowza, with all that, this could be the next game where we go for goal, couldn't it? I mean, it's 8 goals, but with some change in personnel, South East Blaze could bring it back. We will yet to see. I'm gonna try and work out if we can see Airline, who the changes are. We've just been saying about these. I think there's a new goal shooter, Bibon, possibly staying with Meredith, but a different goal shooter and a different goalkeeper, perhaps.
We do. Steph Savigar seems to be coming on as goal shooter for South East Blaze.
And she played the other day, didn't she, in the other game? So again, this is an experienced lineup. You know, we've got that goal attack, goal shooter combo that have played together before. So it's not new at this stage in the competition. These combinations aren't new combinations. They're combinations that have been tried and tested. So the coaches and Rebecca Baker will be looking at this, going, okay, something needs to change. We're 8 goals down. I know this combination has worked before, so let's see. And it's going to be exciting to see if fortune favours the brave.
Absolutely, and in that goalkeeper position as well, Nia Fishlock has come onto the court, so Katie Rees has taken to the bench. However, for Coastal Heat, the only change they've made is Lydia Grice comes on to the centre, and Megan Thomas gets a well-deserved rest.
Not too surprised to see not many changes there, but probably quite smart to have some fresh legs in the middle. Oh, there's a change.
Another change as well in the centre for South East Blaze. The arms of Charlotte Scarborough have done enough tipping for the moment. And we do have a change in the middle. Just waiting on confirmation of that change. Whilst Chloe James puts up that shot, which is tipped off the back by Chloe Evans.
A rare miss for Chloe James. You don't see that very often. But this is an opportunity, and you kind of get the feeling that for South East Blaze, if they can take this opportunity through, it should lift them. And it might give them the impetus then to come right back in this game. And it's amazing how much mentally a turnover to goal could impact your team. It's a long shot.
It is a long shot. And just a confirmation for South East Blaze, Georgia Ahern, previous wing attack for South East Blaze, has gone in to the centre position.
I'm surprised at how quick Steph Savigar put up that shot. But we were saying only yesterday how tricky it is. Oh no, I think it was this morning. Goodness, everything's rolled into one. With Sarah Bell, how difficult it is sometimes as a shooter to be off and on the bench and to come in as at the third quarter or the
Chloe
fourth quarter.
James. Oh, I totally agree with your point, Nat, but Chloe James took my eye away from that conversation. And she did a wonderful layup shot.
She's obviously challenging Gwennon Williams to hers before.
Trying to show what Katie Rees can do, she can do as well.
It's 2 early misses for Savigar, which is unfortunate for her. We've seen Rebecca Baker in at goal attack as well. Do you think maybe we might see a Meredith Baker combination?
Well, that would be a turn for the Bucks, wouldn't it? They've obviously managed to put Savigar in there, maybe to add a little bit of height into that shooting circle with the height that we've got from Hollis and Langford.
Lovely ball through to Brooke Collette, sorry, just changed the name. Again, showing her speed through court. Nice pocket by Meredith, but
Baker Rees, Meg Baker Rees, always on the ball.
Good decision to reset. What's really nice from Coastal Heat is they're still playing with patience.
Chloe Evans seems to think she was contacted by Colette, but Claire Williams believes it was all contested. Well done to her for that. Rebecca Baker trying to create more space, more movement for Blaze. And Savigar with a nice hold off Langford.
Just needs to take a time on the shot, Savigar. Take a time, take a breath, push it up. Good job. Eight still the difference.
Well, here goes Heat again. Oh, just too much on that ball for Grice.
Oh, well reached, Colette. How did she get to that?
Brooke Collette will leap over a third of this court, I believe. because of those jumps she's got.
A nice reset there for Coastal Heat because of the obstruction. Nothing in the middle for Coastal Heat.
Resets options available through Baker Reese and Langford. Hollis now plays high up the court.
And that's the patience we were talking about, isn't it? There wasn't anything on in the middle. It was a really awkward setup to start off with, and they went, that's fine, we'll just recycle it.
Well, Nia Fishlock trying to be a problem there for Chloe James, but currently James is working around, as is Meredith. And Savigar around Langford. Can't quite find the net on that one, but we'll have another go. And this time she doesn't miss, taking the score to 20 goals to 12. 8 goals, still the deficit, but still, again, doable, isn't it? It's only 4 turnovers.
Yeah, it is still doable. It's still doable with 15 minutes left in the game. And especially if we get turnover like that.
Well, Nia Fishlock and Brooke Collette all over that ball. Ooh. And there's the next ball to Savigar, but Langford was all over that one.
And it's not the defence that's the problem at the moment for South East Blaze. It's this attacking unit that isn't firing together. Spacey.
Well, and there's a Hearn chasing. No one else was. Contact called. Previously, we've seen Rebecca Baker really working hard with her team to reach circle edge on every ball, but we've seen a lack of that now that Savigar's in there.
I think Rebecca Baker is now doing too much work. I think that's the problem. I think it's almost the superhero syndrome of trying to save the day. And actually, that's probably also part of as a role as a coach, a leader, when actually sometimes she needs to just pass off that responsibility to someone else.
Well, there was a lovely draw there from Rebecca Baker, taking Baker Reese and Grice away from circle edge. And a long swing over to Ahern.
Oh, footwork. When it's not your day, sometimes it's not your day, is it?
It's not, but Collette and Spacey trying to bring that ball. Oh, Collette, even out of reach for her with those long limbs.
Yeah, and I think what we're seeing as well is, like, when the chips are down at the moment for South East Blaze, there's no connection there. Ideally, if there's a bad pass or a disconnect, you'd expect a little hook in from the players, but you've got nothing.
Well, good patience from Heat there, and Chloe James on extension, keeping the ball in to Evans. And Nia Fishlock, just a tip on that, but Chloe Evans steals the ball away.
Yeah, super. She was just had her head down, didn't she? So she couldn't get fully up for that Fishlock. Oh, nice hands in. But
Baker Reese and Grice, unfortunately, don't get to steal that ball. Oh, Liv Hollis. Just caught for contact there on Savigar.
It was really close, wasn't it? She read that so well.
It was a split second, wasn't it? And then she would have been on it.
A better shot, however, from Savigar. We talked in the first quarter about the lowness of the score in time, and it currently is only 3-3 this quarter, and there's only 2.5 minutes left.
Well, it's all about the through-court play at the minute, both defensive circles working hard, but like you said, the feed's not finding the shooters either, working to circle edge is getting difficult, and things like that happening when Meg Baker Reese flying through court.
And just taking your time on the shot.
Oh, Liv Hollis doing just enough to force Baker to give that ball to Langford. Yeah. And again, still waiting for that next goal to come.
It just needed to swing or go back to open up the other side of the circle. They were all non-ball side, and it's ambitious to throw it over Langford.
And there it is for Chloe James. 22-13 now the score, getting closer to that 10-goal lead.
Lovely quick pass.
And nice work by Baker to then step off the circle edge, seeing how congested it was.
Smart from Beck Baker there, because she shuffled in to make it too close.
And Seth Savigar has really found her eye now.
It'll be interesting to see what they do in that shooting position now, because it's literally taken to this point really for her to get her eye in, but now she's got her eye in. Do you leave her on or do you make a change?
Well, there is 50 seconds on the clock, and Chloe Evans doesn't need time to get her eye in. She has been shooting these mid-range long shots all day.
Lovely draw from Grice.
Oh, Langford again. There she is. You cannot force a ball over Sarah Langford, and if you do, who is there to pick it up but Liv Hollis?
Yeah, and I think they've almost played into it by playing a more holding game, which is why I'm wondering whether we'll see a Baker Meredith combo in there, because if it was me, I'd put a bit of a rotating circle in. You just can't get past the arms of Langford. She's too tall.
And if you can't get past the arms, you've got to work around the body.
Exactly that.
Chloe James with 5 seconds on the clock. No one will rush to take this centre pass. And there is the buzzer. And it will be a Coastal Heat centre pass for that last quarter of the game. Well, 3 quarters in, the Printco Coastal Heat 24, MECTEC South East Blaze 14. 10 goals the lead now for Coastal Heat, one of our newer teams, and they've really pulled away in this game, haven't they? We had a close start to that game. We talked about how a 5-goal lead is different to a 4-goal lead, and now they've just kept extending their lead.
Exactly that. But, I mean, the whole quarter, in fairness, for both sides wasn't the greatest quarter they've had. In terms of defence, it was on fire. I mean, turnover central, but Coastal Heat only scoring 6 that quarter, and South East Blaze only scoring 4. So we were only getting 1 goal a minute in that quarter, which is really low to the standard that we've seen. But like I say, a lot of it's credit to the defence as well.
Defence, absolutely, on both sides of the court, through court as well. Defence, we see Meg Baker-Rees running and taking balls through the middle, and equally we see Eloise Spacey and Brooke Collette doing the exact same thing. And it's not just, when we talk about defence, we're not talking just about defence in the circle, are we? Because we know we're seeing Langford and we're seeing Hollis taking those balls. Equally, we're seeing Brooke Collette and Fishstock, but just through court, it's just tit for tat.
Yeah, and like we've said in other games, like there's been players that have just been allowed to come through, so the attack haven't necessarily stepped up and defended. But here, both teams' attack are fully going hard on their defence as well. So you've got 7 players in attack and 7 players in defence.
Absolutely. And in the attack now then, both teams need to make sure that they're composed for the ball, need to make sure that they are keeping their calm and playing safe netball, isn't it? It's all about the basic stuff now, especially for Coastal Heat, because they're the ones that have got something to lose now, whereas South East Blaze maybe can afford to try and pull something out the bag to just try and keep up. But then Coastal Heat need to really look after the ball.
Yeah, I mean, in fairness to Coastal Heat, like you say, it's theirs to lose. 10 goals difference, 10 minutes of play left. It is a massive ask for South East Blaze, and to be honest with you, they haven't changed much. And
they have not.
Don't think it'll make a difference.
We see 2 changes for South East Blaze. Bethan Hale has come on to wing defence, and Victoria Nettle has come on to wing attack. So that Baker, Lewis, Meredith combination you so desperately wanted to see, Baker is taken to the bench, and Nuttall is on. And for Coastal Heat, many changes for them. Goal shooter comes on, Hannah Nolan. Chloe James comes out to goal attack. Megan Thomas comes back on, but onto wing attack. Maddie Newton comes on to centre, and Ellen Jones comes on to wing defence. So Emily Edwards, Chloe Evans and Baker-Rees hit the bench for some rest.
And you know what? I said last time they made a 5-person change in their first quarter, and I was like, oh, it's either nuts or it's brilliant. And it was brilliant. So fair play. This is going to be a brilliant change. I'm not falling foul to that one again.
Well, I guess time will tell. We have 10 minutes to find out. But South East Blaze did turn that first ball over, and here they go again. Wonderful work by Meredith. Working hard there with Georgia O'Hearn. And they've already secured 2 goals.
At this rate, it is doable. They've got to get a goal every minute and prevent the other team from scoring. Oh, hands in.
Well, Bethan Hale, another one of those army people maybe that they do breed in South East Wales. Spacey also taken to the bench. And we've said how much of a workhorse she is off the ball. But Hannah Nolan gets her first shot in of the game.
Yeah, well secured. And every single time that Coastal Heat get a goal, it's just another nail in the coffin for South East Blaze.
Newton, back to Jones. And James tries to force it to Nolan, but Brooke Collette hangs in the air, but James takes it back off Collette.
And that's a fantastic response, isn't it? Gave the ball away. Okay, don't worry, guys. I'll get it back. It's no worries.
Well, if she loses it, she got it back for them, and that's where she does as well by putting that goal in the net.
That's full-on accountability right there.
What more do you want from your attacking team? And there's the ball from Newton. A little bit too flat maybe for Hannah Nolan. Nia Fishlock got a hand on it. Lucky to be given the ball back, Hannah Nolan.
Yeah, I think she was just sort of leaning around the player is doing it. Just small things then. Centre ran straight across the front of Meredith.
Liv Hollis. Well, I did say if you get it over the top of Langford, Hollis will be there. And she ran in behind Langford for that one. Chloe James turn and pass straight into Nolan now to try and put as many goals on the board as they can.
Yeah, that was a lovely quick feed, wasn't it? They're just sealing this game off now. But I like the fact that Chloe James doesn't then feed the 2-on-1. She looks for the next option to create the save stuff, and we've seen in the last 2 games some of the goal attacks feed in a 2-on-1. And it doesn't pay off. But look, that does. Good job.
It's like, again, smart, clever play from Chloe James, knowing when and knowing when not to feed it and how to change her game around it. Meredith bounces off the rim.
Another chance for Coastal Heat. Lovely long ball through court. Stand tall.
Jones finds Newton to Thomas. Well, Chloe James goes on the diagonal run, but Brooke Collette cuts her off.
Yeah, Thomas was leaning down on that pass, which stopped it getting any height. She needs to stand nice and tall, get her shoulders back. Sometimes the small technical differences can have a huge impact.
Well, that shot was one to watch.
Swish.
And that ball to Nolan. She's waiting for it. She's ready for it. Every time it comes in. I feel maybe Coastal Heat's style of play have changed now.
Yeah, it's nice, isn't it? It's nice that they've got a change of style and it's come in the fourth. It's just showing what they can do, and that's, you know, that's a sign of a real winning team.
And it's a sign that maybe changing 5 players in 1 quarter isn't nuts, but to change the whole game.
Yeah, and I mean, you said that they've built throughout this tournament, so goodness me, if they're like this in their first year, what on earth are you going to see next year?
Well, exciting things to come for Coastal Heat, definitely for next year. As Hannah Nolan puts another point on the board. The score now 31-17.
Yeah, and it was the ball, wasn't it, from Newton to Nolan.
But Fishlock gets her hands on that. Nolan on the defence has taken some pointers from South East's long arms and manages to bounce the ball off Fishlock's arms. And there's the ball from James. She might not feed the 2-on-1, but she will off her back line.
Yeah, so much closer, isn't it? So much easier just to pop it up. But it's still impressive from Nolan to get on the end of it as well.
Langford just knocked out of Nuttall's hands. Savigar can't quite sink that one.
Oh, well held.
Lovely take by Maddie Newton. And again, right onto circle edge, Newton. But Fishlock, great elevation.
Yeah, Newton again was just all her weight was on her front foot. Her whole body was forwards. It stops the ball getting that height on that feed. They just need to, if they're going to feed that lifted ball, they need to have their feet underneath them. Oh, what a tip.
Well, we did promise a game of tips, tricks and turnovers, and that's what we're getting.
Coastal Heat are just like, here you go, let's get into sixth gear.
Well, Megan Thomas showing what she can do in that wing attack position, whilst Chloe James just turns and feeds to Nolan. 34-17 now the score.
They have doubled Southeast Blazes' score. What a quarter this is for Coastal Heat.
Coastal Heat, those changes made by the Coastal Heat coaches clearly making an impact.
Yeah, superb.
And also it's knowing about when to make those changes, isn't it? It's not about just making them.
Yeah, absolutely. And knowing, because if you really know your players, you know how they're going to enter a game when you're up, how they're going to enter a game when they're down. And having that knowledge is key, really. Some players start well, some players come on well.
Well, Savigar is definitely one for Southeast Blaze who's come on well and made an impact in that shooting circle. But Maddie Newton thought she might have kept that one in, but just landed off the side of the court. Bethan Hale trying to bring the ball through court for Southeast Blaze.
Just all sorts of pressure from Newton.
Just over 2 minutes left on the clock for this fourth playoff. The positioning before we go into our first and second final game of the day.
That's a good turnover to goal for Southeast Blaze, so it may be a late flurry from them.
Good decision by Meredith.
Oh, well done.
Good take. Oh, lovely work. That ball within Meredith's range, but maybe not over Langford.
Yeah, you can't underestimate how hard it is to shoot over someone so tall and rangy. Lovely patience.
Just over a minute left now.
Oh,
footwork for Megan Thomas.
I think that's tiredness, to be fair. She does look...
Not enough power in her to give that ball. Tried to take the extra step. And that lovely pop to Savigar to take them up to 21. Southeast Blaze 34 for Coastal Heat.
I mean, this is a nice light flurry, isn't it? It was 34-17 a minute ago. They've had a run of 4.
But a breaking call comes for Victoria Nuttall.
Oh.
And the call from the Coastal bench is to finish on a high with 20 seconds left on the clock. Nolan will take them to 35.
Yeah, it's their
and they're
centre pass.
screaming at Maddie Newton to realise that it's her centre pass.
Oh, Brooke Collette.
Chloe James had more than enough time, but Brooke Collette denied her with that incredible jump.
5 seconds.
Contact call against
a long shot.
Langford and obstruction. Don't pass this ball, Meredith. And there it is. What a shot by Abigail Meredith to finish this game off. 35 plays 22. Well, Coastal Heat, the Print Co-sponsored Coastal Heat, became the third placing team in this national Fleet EV National League 2024. And Southeast Blaze, sponsored by MacTech Professionals, place 4th this year in the 2024 Fleet TV National League. Well, what a game that was. We knew it was coming. We knew the tips were coming. We knew the intercepts were coming and the shooting stats were coming. We didn't expect it as much as that, though.
No, you know what? the Coastal Heat were better for me today, and Southeast Blaze just struggled in their execution in the shooting circle. I think, sometimes those passes in right at the beginning, getting the goals in towards the end, I don't think their stats will be as high as they wanted them to be. And the problem is when you've got the height that you have in the back of Hollis and Langford, it's really hard to get the rebounds as well. So, I mean, I'd say that was won by Coastal Heat. Great performance by them.
Great performance all around. Well, we have one game left of this Fleet TV National League 2024, and it is the big one. It is first v second final playoffs, and you know who's coming. It's Northeast Inferno versus Valley Volcanoes. The same final as last year, where Valley Volcanoes took the winning trophy, the crown,
the gold medal.
The golden medal. Well, the Volcanoes are hoping to hang on to that trophy, but Northeast Inferno are coming at them, all guns are blazing. And we will be back with you just before 5:15 to bring you all the action, and you really don't want to miss that one. Well, welcome back, Croeso nôl, to the Fleet EV National League here at finals weekend, day 2 at the Cardiff House of Sport. It is the one, it's the big one, it's the final game of the day. Who will take the crown? Will it be Tantrum-sponsored Valley Volcanoes, or will Gallery Loft Conversion-sponsored North East Inferno manage to take it this year? It's a repeat. It's a repeat of last year's final. It's a repeat again of the battle on the court last year. Valley Volcanoes managed to pip North East Inferno to the top and take that win, but these two met each other on court yesterday for the first time, and North East Inferno did take the win. Laurie Barker, the head coach for North East Inferno, no doubt wanting that same performance, but Nick Cook, the head coach for Valley Volcanoes, really eager to retain that title. Well, I'm Elaine Roberts, and I've been with you all day today, yesterday, in Ebervale, in Bangor, soaking in all the action here. And over this past weekend, it's been a pleasure to be with Natalie Pepperell, just soaking up all the action. And we have been super entertained, haven't we?
Oh, yeah, this competition has literally had everything. And, you know, if you're a netball fan and you've been tuning in, then you will have loved it as much as we have. The skill and ability on display has been second to none.
It has been absolutely outstanding. Well, let's run through those all-important starting sevens for these two big teams. For North East Inferno in the black, Erin Hook starts at goal shooter, Becca Hughes at goal attack, Jessica Daltrey on at goal attack, Catherine Hughes at centre, Emily White starts at wing defence, Caitlin Jones at goal defence, and Tash Jarvis on at goalkeeper. And in the grey and pink dresses for Valley Volcanoes, Georgia Jenkins at goal shooter, Jade Boulderson at goal attack, Keris Reynolds at wing attack, Nick Cook in at centre, Sammy Jo Williams in at wing defence, Steph Perry in at goal defence, and Letitia Kidner in at goalkeeper. Taking control of this match, our very top qualified umpires, qualified umpires, Matthew Cole and Becky Scott.
What a game this is set to be. Battle right from the start with these two centres to begin with. Catherine Hughes versus Nick Cook. It's got everything in it today.
Well, these two teams will no doubt show an outstanding battle of force and wit. Clever netball going to be on display here. How to work around their oppositions.
Yeah, they're going to be forced in that circle to meet every single ball, because we've seen this defensive unit go on everything. So,
and that first turnover goes to Valley Volcanoes. Erin Hook called for a replay ball.
Yeah, Catherine.
And Keris Reynolds changing her angle.
Oh, and another turnover.
And North East Inferno getting their hands back on the ball straight away with a turnover from Tash Jarvis.
And there's
Catching
that
Hughes.
twin-to-twin ball that you were talking about before. Goal attack to centre.
Being very cautious here, aren't they, North East Inferno, about putting that ball in with that defensive combination of Perry and Kidner.
Yeah, Kidner should have gone with that for two hands. It was a bit of an ambitious ball, a rising chest pass. But still, with Hook.
Erin Hook starts off the score in here. 1 goal on the board now for North East Inferno. Did well to retain their centre pass. Nick Cook, a powerhouse on that circle edge. Boulderson finds Reynolds.
And the thing that Cook does so well is just a bit of disguise on the ball. It makes the feed in really accurate.
Well, George Jenkins, we know, will shoot from anywhere in that circle, but Catherine Hughes, what a ball that was to Daltrey. Erin Hook. And a rare miss from her, hitting that rim. Kidner takes the rebound.
It's really important now that they I've just jinxed it, that they capitalise on this, because they've had a couple of turnovers now, Valley Volcanoes, just struggling to take it through to goal.
And as we were discussing with Nick Cook earlier, North East Inferno are a team that will punish you for those kind of mistakes. But Erin Hook, again, not quite getting her hands on the ball.
And I wonder how much that is due to the pressure of Kidner. You know, she's not an easy player to play against, so just maybe a little bit of doubt in her mind.
But Catherine Hughes does not give up.
Yeah, another turnover that they've failed to take through. Hopefully this won't affect their chances. You just, like, these margins are going to be so slim against this team. You're not going to win loads.
You will not be gifted many turnovers from Northeast Inferno. Becca Hughes on the ball now. And she sinks that shot effortlessly.
She's going to have to turn and shoot, Becca Hughes, today. She's not going to be able to offload them all.
And what pressure that was from Northeast Inferno's defensive setup. Nick Cook, rarely from Nick Cook is she unable to get that centre pass away. We're seeing a lot at the minute of Erin Hook coming out of that circle. It's not what she normally does in these kind of games.
No, and I do think, like I say, it's the defence that she's playing against rather than the style that she's used to. But at the moment, her defensive unit have done enough to turn the ball back over, but maybe not this time.
And Jenkins evens up the score. Hughes to Hughes.
Lovely, patient decision.
There is Hook bouncing the ball off the feet of Kidner. Reynolds finds Cook. Almost taken out by Jones.
It's just better to mix up that centre pass from Valley Volcanoes there. So they learn. We talked about this team before. They learn in the game really quickly.
They definitely do learn in the game, and no doubt they would have done their homework since the game yesterday versus Northeast Inferno, as what we saw yesterday as Kidner comes out for that incredible fly. Northeast ran away with the game at the start of it yesterday versus Volcanoes, but not this time.
Yeah, not many people have managed to make the Twins look silly on that pass, but Kidner definitely has the capacity to.
Oh, Jade Boulderson saves the rebound off the back line. And the Volcanoes bench celebrate every goal. And that was a crucial turnover for Volcanoes.
Oh, smart. Really smart play.
Boulderson unable to take that shot. Jarvis
did well to get hands on that rebound, and this is an opportunity now for Northeast Inferno. Again, they're not going to get gifted many turnovers, so.
Both teams very heavy on defence, but also both teams very composed in the way they move the ball. Catherine Hughes happy to recycle to Jones.
Smart as well.
Daltrey on the circle edge. Becca Hughes just holding steady for Hook to take the ball and bring the score back level. Crucial turnover again for Northeast Inferno.
That's a positional switch we had as well. Kidner went to go out and Perry dropped in. So smart, the two defenders, but.
That is more like it from Erin Hook. That's what we're used to seeing from her. Inferno now take the lead by 1. It's going to be whichever team cracks first in this game.
Yeah, and that's what they need to do, is just stick to their job, stick to their game plan. Don't get pushed off of it by what the opposition are doing. Be confident in their capacity.
Jenkins sets a shot again, and still a bit rushed on that shot maybe. Contested contest at the post. Nice
Zone.
and easy. Oh, Perry wanted that one from Daltrey, but was protected. Lovely ball from Becca Hughes. And Hook did well to stay on for that one.
That was great confidence by Northeast Inferno to let it go through that zone, because it could have crumbled a lesser team, but they're confident in their capacity, and they do pass with, a centimetre of distance to give it.
Well, Northeast Inferno have such patience on the ball, happy to play it around 6, 7, 8 times before putting it where they want it. Becky Hughes attempting to go quickly. Becky Scott brings them back. Lovely triangle work from the other Hughes.
And Katrin Hughes got there just by meandering slowly, walking to the pocket so no one noticed her.
Again, silent assassin work from Katrin Hughes as she is through court. Nick Cook finds Balderson. And there's that shot from Jenkins that we've seen throughout this tournament. So composed, so cool.
Oh, great challenge.
Steph Perry,
Oh.
knowing it was probably going to Katrin Hughes.
I thought that was really well run, shoulder on shoulder, but...
And again, so much patience from Northeast Inferno. And Steph Perry collects that rebound of Erin Hook's shot.
Good decision to wait on that pass, because Katrin Hughes covered it, but just the change of angle made her free.
Oh, Caitlin Jones comes right through the middle for that one and brings the ball right up court.
So fast on that speed of transition, my goodness me.
I don't think anyone could stop that. Ball coming up court. Nick Cook deep in pocket. Reynolds to Balderson. Back out to Cook. Swinging it over to Reynolds, back in to Balderson. Lovely triangular work. Well, the Hugheses are not the only sisters on this court today for this match. Steph Perry and her sister Sammy Jo Williams playing in defence.
Proud parents, talented families.
Talented families, and that is the end of the first quarter. What a fast first quarter that was. Absolutely wonderful netballs displayed by both teams. 8 goals to 6. Northeast Inferno lead by 2 goals, and what a start it was. We knew it was going to be fast and feisty, the competition between these two teams, but there's nothing between them, is there?
There isn't, and you know what? Valley Volcanoes have had the turnover. They had the turnover early on. They almost gifted quite a few back then, and they just need to be patient with their possession. In terms of slowing down Northeast Inferno, they need to do something about the speed of their transition. They're almost, for a team that have been so brilliant, they're almost caught napping a bit. And I think sometimes teams fall foul of just trying to find their own player on a turnover. Sometimes you just need to step across the nearest player and keep them up, just to delay it a little bit to allow everybody to get back on defence.
Well, we've said that Northeast Inferno will not gift you many turnover balls or many errors, but neither will Valley Volcanoes, so they do need to be capitalised on when it does happen. And Inferno have definitely done more of that capitalisation, if that's a word, work so far, haven't they? And Valley Volcanoes have really brought it back. Jenkins is on fire with her shooting and some lovely triangular work on that circle edge.
There is. The triangles don't get them too much closer to the post, though, at the minute. I think what the defence unit for Northeast Inferno of Jarvis and Jones are doing really well. They're keeping them away from the post and forcing them more to take the long shots, which is smart work. But they keep using your triangles, but maybe be a bit smarter about using them when it's going to get you close to post. And if that's not going to work, what other skills do you have? Because I know for a fact that these two shooters do have those skills. Jenkins is great on a screen, so if the triangle isn't in there, what about the swing and then a drive and having your goal shooter screen off that defender? Just mix it up a bit.
Absolutely, and we do know that they do have that in their playbook to be able to do it. Both coaches now having their final words with their teams.
And I love it because you can see how much input both of these teams are getting. This is really high-level stuff. They've done their homework. They've made notes. They're now tweaking play. You can see Jess with a pen in her hand. She's been writing it down. So it's high-level coaching as well as high-level playing.
Jess Sutton making sure she has everything she needs to give to Nick Cook when they come off the court. No changes for Valley Volcanoes, and no changes either for Northeast Inferno. The umpires will take their time going onto the court. We'll want to use all this time, but as Nick Cook has mentioned a few times, if they sit too long, they seize up, and they want to keep going as quickly as they can.
You can tell they're elite athletes, because to be honest with you, in my quarter times, in my netball games, I'm quite happy to sit down.
I feel like it goes too quickly. Well, Katrin Hughes sets us off again. And Nick Cook straight away with that tip off the sideline.
Yeah, better centre pass defence by Volcanoes.
This zonal box defence that Valley Volcanoes produce, causing Northeast Inferno to really spread the ball.
But they do, though, don't they? And they're so patient. They drive to ball, they pull away, they change direction.
They're a team that can really change things around. Erin Hook did well there to protect her space from Kidner. But again, a rare miss from Hook. And Nick Cook takes a hit from Katrin Hughes, but gets up smiling.
I love that.
She is strong. I don't know who came off worst on that knock. Was it Katrin or Nick?
But it's the fact that it's in such good spirits. They're contesting so hard on the court, but, you know, there's no malice in it. They're smiling. They help each other up.
And another rare miss from our calibre of shooters here, Georgia Jenkins. Still waiting for someone to score in this second quarter.
Need to remain disciplined if they're going to create pressure.
That ball being... Nick Cook, that defensive pressure causing her and letting her come in. They earned that fly.
Absolutely. The pressure of the three out the front and the pass off from in the middle, stunning.
And there is that turnover that Valley Volcanoes desperately needed. 7 goals to 8.
They've got to keep moving onto the ball here.
And
Lovely.
should Balderson sink this one, as she does, she takes us back level, 8 goals apiece. Well, if this game continues as it is, we might find ourselves in another round of extra time. Daltrey high in the air for that one.
Yeah, Kidner clapped her hands because she partially went and then decided not to. She needs to back herself.
Well, Erin Hook, no issues there. Sammy Jo Williams backs up. Nick Cook takes herself back. And Daltrey thought the ball was on for Hook, but it's never on against Kidner in that kind of space.
Yeah, and that through court pass was a mistake by Cook, and she'll know that.
Nick Cook picking up Daltrey on the side of the circle. Lovely swing from Hughes to Hughes.
Yeah, and the difference there is Katrin had seen what was on, but great pickup on the missed shot. There's a couple of misses, like you say. Pressure?
I would agree, pressure. Yeah, probably between these two teams, but the calibre of shooters we have, you would expect them to be used to that kind of pressure by now, maybe?
Yeah, I mean, it's the calibre of the defence, isn't it, as well, that causes the pressure, but I hear you. I hear what you're saying.
Georgia Jenkins walking towards the post and sinks the shot.
I always
9
wonder whether
goals.
she's looking at the crowd and taking a breath. I always wonder whether Jenkins wants to be brought closer in or whether she prefers to be further out.
Well, Jessica Daltrey was called for breaking there, and Nick Cook couldn't quite catch it on circle edge. Tries to contest Becky Scott's umpiring, but we know Becky Scott won't take any of it.
Again, you've got to stay clean, stay clean.
Discipline is very much key here for both teams. Oh, Hughes to Hughes again.
And it's the speed of their movement, which is, oh, Nick Cook!
Caitlin Jones! Caitlin Jones! She took that fly on the run, landed her feet and gave the ball away to Tash Jarvis.
This is absolutely unbelievable. Turnover after turnover by driving hard and reading the play.
I'm still reliving that moment, I think, in my head of watching that whilst Nick Cook flies off the side of the court and is unlucky. She smacks the floor as frustration with herself.
Oh, just miscommunication between Kidner and Perry.
And Becca Hughes keeps composure.
And it was their centre pass as well, so they'll be relieved that that went in.
And it's so difficult, isn't it? How high pressure every goal is to then have to settle as a shooter and then put the ball up.
Yeah, absolutely.
Balderson.
Lovely.
Nick Cook telling her just not to touch that ball again after she dropped it.
Great confident shot by Balderson. Jenkins was there for the rebound. She created a good rebound position. Oh, I got goosebumps.
My heart is racing. I don't know if it's from the caffeine we've had today or from this match.
Maybe a bit of both?
Maybe a bit of both. The strength of these players. Taking every ball. We are goal for goal here as Wykes tries to come through Reynolds. Caitlin Jones covers off Balderson.
Oh, lovely reverse hand turning, getting the ball back. Double jump.
Oh, Jarvis. The athleticism to pull off that kind of double jump.
Yeah.
Isn't it? To rebound off the floor so quickly in Jarvis.
Someone definitely does plyometrics in their S&C session. And that's the smarts of Jenkins. She's got herself into some good rebound positions this quarter. It's not been needed yet, but that time it was. And I love that. She's like, no, you put it up again. Making sure that the last shot that Balderson has taken has been one that she's sunk.
All about the mindset of these players for this match. They could run and run all day, but you have to be in the right headspace.
Oh, Sammy Jo Williams pinged for contact.
And Daltrey just walking into it. Becca Hughes. Nick James just holding on to her on the side of the circle.
What a stretch.
Hughes.
Oh,
3 seconds. Kidner, absolutely outstanding reach. And there goes Perry charging up the court. The transition of these two teams, outstandingly quick.
That was a great transition. And that was the speed that we've seen from Northeast Inferno. So it's great to see Valley Volcanoes just ploughing through.
And Jade Balderson scores that important turnover as it's now Volcanoes' centre pass. But oh, that ball from Reynolds. Again, doesn't happen often, does it?
But that's the critical moment, isn't it? They've gone through at such pace on that last turnover. And they've carried that pace into the next centre pass when actually what they needed to do was change the speed of the game.
Holding by Reynolds. Now a chance for Northeast Inferno to take it back level before taking their own centre pass. Catching Hughes. Finds Becca.
I'm not sure she knew how she ended up with that ball.
But Erin Hook sinks it anyway. And it's turnover for turnover. It's like a game of tennis.
Yeah, or ping pong.
Well weighted from Becca Hughes to find Daltrey and back again to Hughes.
And you know what? It was honourable of Perry to go and... Oh, she's got the rebound. I was going to say to go and get that ball at the centre pass, but it almost played in against her because she was out of position for it, but it doesn't matter. I feel like that's like a little bit of netball karma, giving her the ball back.
It was a bit of netball karma. Nobody wants to be out of position.
Oh.
And Jade Balderson takes us back. 13 plays 12 now for Volcanoes and on their centre pass thanks to that turnover from Perry. Oh, Caitlin Jones on the extension, on the run, cuts off the angle of Balderson. Now composure required.
Katrin Hughes. Oh, goodness me. Such quick hands between Becca Hughes and Jessica Daltrey.
And Erin Hook. There's the shot. Every time there's a turnover, there's another one coming, and Katrin Hughes is screaming for the ball with 20 seconds left on the clock.
It's a really long time. Oh, Kidner.
Tisha Kidner knows exactly what that one was for, to get rid of the ball. But time has been called by umpire Matt Cole. And it will restart now with 5 seconds.
Oh,
but Kidner again! Wonderful outside arm. Becca Hughes! And what fantastic work from the defensive setup of Kidner and Perry then to just stop Northeast Inferno from getting that all-important goal to take them 1 goal ahead at the half-time mark. That is what you want from a defensive setup, right?
Oh, absolutely stunning. And not only that, then the error of not being off court to take the throw in. Interestingly, the time stopped, but the umpire didn't call the time or play the time on. So I'm sure they'll be having a conversation about that now at the bench, but it doesn't impact the game, luckily, because the defence were so outstanding.
Outstanding is the word for that performance. Well, in that quarter, Valley Volcanoes came out on top after scoring 8 goals compared to Northeast Inferno, who scored 5. Well, turnover for turnover. We see Valley Volcanoes turning the ball over, scoring 1 ahead, and then Northeast Inferno counter right back. But there's nothing to tell them apart. We've seen incredible acrobatics all through the court. But there's no changes you would make. There's nothing broken to fix.
No, I think the difference is there's a little bit more pressure on the through court for for Valley Volcanoes. Valley Volcanoes they're causing it for Northeast Inferno. Let me get my words out properly. We talked about the fact that Northeast Inferno flew through the court very quickly on transitions in the first quarter. The way to counteract that is Valley Volcanoes have gone, okay, we're going to sit in a zone, and then we don't necessarily have to be man on that because we can't get back man on. That zone has been invaluable for them. Yes, there's been times when Northeast Inferno brought it through, but when they are bringing it through, it's under more pressure. So it's a superb tactical change by them.
And Volcanoes have really done their homework, haven't they, after watching their game yesterday? Because we were talking to Nick Cook, head coach earlier of Valley Volcanoes, and she was saying how difficult it is to slow down the game of Northeast Inferno once they get on that run, because their pace is so fast through court. How do you stop it? And their box defence was just too narrow because they would spread the court.
Yeah, and so therefore what they've done is stick a mid-court zone on and gone more man-on. Although they're switching at the back, I think that's so much smarter for them, because actually the speed of ball movement between Northeast Inferno around the circle and the accuracy of their passes means that your fly has to be pinpoint perfect to get it, and actually that's almost impossible. So their change in tactic, superb. Absolutely superb.
Superb indeed. Well, we have seen, like we said, flies all over. Tish Kidner is eyeing up so many balls from the back of that circle, but knowing she's backed up by Perry if she does go on the fly. Same is happening for Tash Jarvis and Caitlin Jones in the back for Northeast Inferno. And of course we have the wonderful moving ball, fast feet, fast hands of Hughes and Cook, Reynolds, Balderson. And let's not forget Jess Daltrey in there as well, doing all the work. Well, changes that we are seeing on court now for Northeast Inferno. Lowry Barker has decided to put Molly Underhill in at goal shooter, and Ashley Davis comes on at wing attack. Katrin Hughes has moved into wing defence, and Jess Daltrey moves into that centre position. For Valley Volcanoes, there is no changes, and they've left their starting seven, the same as the cheers from the bench when they wait for the umpires.
I can see why they've made a change, because it didn't work so well for them that quarter, but it does make me nervous when you've not got the Hughes sisters playing together. I think their combination between them, their telepathy, we didn't see it as much in the second quarter, so I totally understand it, but could you have brought it back in? I'm not sure. Is separating them a mistake? It has been for me in the past when I've seen it. I've thought they've not played as well when they've been split. But you know what? I'm pretty sure that I've been wrong on most decisions that I've disagreed with throughout these last 2 days. So,
well, Lowry Barker has made that decision, and we have seen Ashley Davis come on and make an impact, haven't we, for Northeast Inferno previously? And we know that Jess Daughtry can be a powerhouse in that centre position. Molly Underhill now plays against Tish Kidner, more height in that circle, so a total game changer for Northeast Inferno as Nick Cook starts us off.
So I'm just going to play devil's advocate. Do you want more height? Do you want to put it over Letitia Kidner, or did you want to keep Erin Hook in and keep that footwork movement?
Oh, who knows? But Lowry Barker does. I wonder what's going through her head right now. Caitlin Jones.
Oh, wow.
She read that absolutely impeccably well.
She matches up so well against Balderson, doesn't she?
Oh, it's a perfect match. And we talked at the beginning, didn't we? It's a player-for-player match, and that's exactly what we're getting in that defensive circle.
Lovely out by Jenkins.
Balderson just short and
I'm not sure she can claim that was contact. I think she was already off balance.
She was, and attempted to throw the ball back in, but didn't quite land her feet. Jenkins now takes Valley Volcanoes 1 up.
Let's see how this new front lineup plays out. Oh, Kidner's out. She's back in.
Kidner is that hunting defender that you do not want to steal the ball. Molly Underhill. First shot of the game for her.
So far, so good.
So far, so good on Lowry Barker's decisions. And there is Tash Jarvis coming through for that ball. Fighting for space.
It is such a good fight as well.
Well, Georgia Jenkins attempted to pop to Jade Balderson. Balderson was not ready. Inferno now need to keep calm here. Nick Cook, though, not letting Becca Hughes get on the end of that ball.
She sprinted faster than Usain Bolt through that court to get that tip.
I don't think I saw her. She was so fast.
Like the Flash.
Underhill getting on the end of every of these balls now. More option under the post for Northeast Inferno. Daughtry. Nice little 1-2. Oh, wonderful fake. However, Perry was there. They threw Kidner into that jump. And Underhill.
Just need to get two hands on this, Kidner and Perry.
Oh, there's the ball in. Perry now pulled for contact.
And she hedged it. She went on the edge, just didn't quite get back in time, but that's dangerous. She's going to get one of them, if not more.
She is going to get more than one. I'm probably feeling that. Balderson resetting all the way back to Perry.
It's good defence here from Northeast Inferno.
Northeast Inferno so heavy on the man-on-man. And Caitlin Jones pulled up, so Balderson is free in that circle. Jarvis doing everything she can. Balderson taking that back to a 1-goal deficit.
Oh,
and Daughtry absolutely on her own, because Becca Hughes drew Nick Cook all the way the other side of the court, didn't she?
Yeah, and that was a great ball in. Maybe I lie. Maybe there is a team that can put it over the top of Kidner, and maybe this is the team.
Maybe this is the team indeed, but also the team that can play around Jarvis and Jones is Volcanoes, because Balderson just did exactly that.
It's great because we've seen a really defensive game, and I feel like now we're seeing a really attacking game. Contact
call against Ashley Davis, and there is that very rare turnover you will get against Northeast Inferno. But they will be hard on defence now.
Lovely quick hands.
Lovely ball from Cook to Reynolds. Jarvis gets a hand in.
Oh, obstruction against Jarvis, I think.
She is being very unlucky at the moment in that shooting circle. She's putting everything on the line. And we're now back to 17 goals apiece. Reynolds over to Sammy Jo Williams.
It was a great give and go as well. And what a screen.
What a screen from Georgia Jenkins. You did mention how good she was at that screen. Drew in both defenders.
Oh, Kidner covering everything in the world.
Letitia Kidner covered every square inch of that circle. Balderson. And she takes it as well. 19-17 now to Valley Volcanoes. And it's on their centre pass.
Oh, well held. It's lovely because they've taken the speed out a little bit and they've just calmed it down.
Oh, what a held from Nick Cook in between the legs.
And that's why you do your ball skills, people.
Tidy up call given to Tash Jarvis. Matt Cole has seen enough from her. Well, 3 goals the lead now for Valley Volcanoes. Northeast Inferno have got some work to do.
Yeah, we're starting to see a gap. I have no doubts that that won't stay like this the whole time.
Oh, Molly Underhill. Lovely split land. And a lovely shot to finish that off.
Possession's the call from the bench. Absolutely right. Now they just need to look after the centre pass.
Catherine Hughes climbing all over Nick Cook. Both of them equally matched, aren't they? And even though Catherine Hughes is out of that centre position, she knows she is going to be on Nick Cook like glue.
Oh,
Caitlin
unlucky.
Jones, unlucky, like you said. Lovely rebound from Balderson.
And the hook in from Jenkins, like Balderson got the rebound and Jenkins literally just gave her a tap. It's almost that encouragement of, you've got this. We talked before about connected teams. That is the connectivity.
Definitely is. And that ball from Daltrey should absolutely go nowhere near the circle with someone like Tish Kidner in there.
Yeah, that was like a moment of madness from Daltrey.
And it's not even as if the clock is counting down the seconds. There's at least 2.5 minutes left. A little 1-2, 1-2 from the shooters of Valley Volcanoes.
No goal.
No goal due to contact call against Jade Balderson.
Oh, lovely ball through the middle. That wasn't footwork.
Well, Ashley Davis keeps taking the ball on the run. And a caution given to Sammy Jo Williams for taking the landing space of Ashley Davis. Well, Becca Hughes has not put as many balls up in the air since Molly Underhill has come on the court, but she doesn't apparently need to.
Oh, yeah, that had far too much on it. A couple of errors sneaking in now. Focus needs to remain on form for the last 2 minutes. We've seen this happen to so many teams at the end of a quarter.
But Northeast Inferno firmly in control of their game. Kidner out of the game, out of the circle, and the screen is on from Underhill. And Catherine Hughes, Becca Hughes is pulled for pushing Molly Underhill into Steph Perry, trying to create her own screen, but Catherine Hughes tries to take the ball from Reynolds.
What smart umpiring to see that.
Well, Becky Scott is one of our best. And Jenkins can't quite get that in the net. There is a minute left on the clock of this quarter, and Valley Volcanoes still leading by 2.
This is definitely a point in time where they'll want to just capitalise on this turnover and take it to goal.
Lovely ball by Daltrey. They need to work this to circle edge now.
Oh, what a ball.
And Underhill does exactly that. Daltrey, 30 seconds on the clock. Can Northeast Inferno get this into goal to finish the quarter? Oh! No, they cannot, due to Steph Perry's turnover. Oh. But she's pulled for contact. There is 20 seconds on the clock.
Oh, the crowd's booing.
Boos from the crowd for time wasting. Underhill, pressure shots. No pressure for her. 7 seconds, so Nick Cook will have to take it. Clever play by Daltrey, running the ball, but what a ball it was to Georgia Jenkins, but Chas Jarvis denied that goal. What a quarter it was for both teams.
Wowza.
Northeast Inferno trailing by 3 brought it back to 21 apiece.
That's insane, isn't it? I mean, oh goodness, there's so much to unpick there and so much like going on. Northeast Inferno have a great way of putting themselves in the line of the ball and almost like really strong on that running line. And I think both Sammy Jo Williams and Stephanie Perry have fallen foul to it a couple of times because they've gone for ball and almost got it with 2 hands, but because Northeast Inferno have taken that running line, they're doomed to have contacted. I'm sure they'll feel a bit hard done to, but to be honest with you, I think the umpire's calls are spot on. And then down the other end, just the pressure on the shots, the pressure on the ball coming in. Oh my goodness, this game literally has everything. I feel like we've just been on a merry-go-round for the last 10 minutes.
I definitely feel dizzy after watching this game, but the sheer talent of Northeast Inferno to bring that back, to dig deep after being down by 3 on the run of Valley Volcanoes, to steal that momentum back, and especially the pure smarts of Jess Daltrey to run that centre ball back to Nick Cook, knowing there was 7 seconds left on the clock, to think you're going to have to take the centre pass now, because any other player would have let the ball go, and knowing Nick Cook, she would have walked back to centre and hoping she could take it in the next quarter.
Yeah, and we've said all the way through this tournament, especially like the last couple of days, we've been watching the clock and we've been like, do they know the time? Are they aware? Why aren't they doing anything about it? And like you say, it was almost perfect timing because she made her take it on 5 seconds to go. Wow.
And then we also saw Nick Cook forcing that ball to Kerrish Reynolds, who had a wonderful ball into Balderson just on the buzzer, but Tash Jarvis even jumped the shot, which would have been missed if it wasn't for the buzzer as well, because Balderson, because if it was off, then the call would have come from the umpire, right?
Yeah, exactly. It's just smart play all over the court. And you know what? We knew that it was going to be a tough game. I'm really pleased from a spectator perspective that this is goal for goal. I'm really pleased for us. But I tell you what, I bet the coaches are on the edge of their feet. If this goes goal for goal and it ends up as a draw, it goes to extra time, right? 2 minutes each way?
2 minutes each way, goal for goal, and then we go for a golden goal, which obviously we're excited by.
I mean it.
But they'll come back onto the court now.
I am totally here for an extra time.
We could watch these two teams all day long. Well, the final quarter gets underway. A Northeast Inferno centre as crafted by Jess Daltrey, just looking for any changes on the court, and no changes by Northeast, no changes either by Valley Volcanoes, both of them happy to continue as they were. But our first turnover comes for Valley Volcanoes. Nick Cook finding Reynolds. Nice swing. And a wonderful triangle to Jenkins, who absolutely capitalises on that one. Volcanoes really pushing on that. Caitlin Jones again takes that turnover so absolutely wonderfully and keeps it in play to Becca Hughes.
She's just a big game player, isn't she?
Caitlin Jones is such a catalyst for North East Inferno, and she will not quit. But turned over by Valleys, turned over by North East. Scored by Valleys, not scored by North East.
Great rebound. Kidner
Tisha
putting
Kidner.
herself in a great position for it.
Well, that turnover by North East Inferno needed to be scored. And Katrin Hughes wins the ball back for her team.
But it was a run through, wasn't it, again, of Caitlin Jones that put that first pass under pressure. You definitely want her on your team.
You want her here, not in Cape Verde. Absolutely, that's a fact.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised. Oh, what?
Jess Daltrey did not want to give that ball in, and rightly so, because Kidner was all over Molly Underhill, and Ashley Davis and Jess Daltrey finding that ball. Daltrey currently on the side of the court tying a shoelace. What a turnover that was. Kidner out for it again. Underhill. Under post.
I see what he did there. Smart.
Took me all day to think of that one.
Still goal for goal. Good out by Underhill.
Davis. Underhill, wonderful space.
It was such a nice hold to post, wasn't it? And I just get the feeling that sometimes when they end up with that positional switch of Kidner coming out, it's more effective for North East Inferno. So,
what a ball from Nick Cook to find Boulderson under the post. Sometimes I feel like these players see things that no one else can.
Yeah, she's like a contortionist as well to have like got a body in that position.
And Caitlin Jones, the smallest one in that circle, got the hand on the rebound over to Tash Jarvis. Katrin Hughes wanting to calm things down. And she does settle the pace a little. And Ashley Davis's ball. Kidner and Perry look at each other. Well, 24-22 now the score for Inferno. Daltrey, good control in her feet.
Light has been created now for North East Inferno. All they have to do, technically, is just keep possession.
What a ball that was from Underhill. And the bench of North East Inferno go wild with excitement. 3 goals to deficit. It's been done before.
It absolutely has. And Valley Volcanoes have to continue to play with confidence.
Caitlin Jones has taken a bit of a hit here.
She has.
On the contest. We know she's one to put her body on the line, but she's straight up on her feet, pulled up by her teammates. She's a strong contender, Caitlin Jones. And she won't let a hit from Jade Boulderson keep her down. And there she is, straight away in the circle. Bibb on the floor. Absolutely a slip hazard.
Lovely footwork by Jenkins. Big shot.
And there it rolls. 25-23 now the score. Becca Hughes.
Hughes went through 3 defenders then.
Becca Hughes almost losing her footing by planting that foot securely on the ground.
Oh,
great contest in the air.
Really good contest. That was great pressure and really clean, actually. I know that.
And great umpiring from Matt Cole.
Yeah, I know Underhill didn't seem impressed with that, but the umpiring was spot on.
Boulderson secures it, and that's the turnover that Valley Volcanoes needed, because it's their centre pass and they're 1 goal down. And Jones is pulled for contact. I'm sure she's aching from that hit off Boulderson. And there is Boulderson on the post.
And the much smarter play as well. Again, the 2-on-1. They didn't ping it in straight away. They did one more pass to open it up. Nick Cook with all the smarts.
And there is that 3-goal deficit closed up again. 1 goal.
Oh, two hands.
Unfortunate for Kidner. And Perry now out. Underhill still can't put it under the net.
She gets the rebounds well, though, doesn't she?
Well, she is all arms, isn't she, Underhill? We're still back in, goal for goal.
This could literally go any which way.
Who is all about who can run the clock.
Oh, Katrin
Jones once again and wins the turnover.
She tracked the change of angles so well. She had to change her body one side, the other side.
Well, Sammy Jo Williams was tracking Becca Hughes then through the court, leaving Ashley Davis open. There's the ball again for Underhill. And a lovely ball into court.
Oh, it's through the legs.
Daltrey wasn't ready.
Oh,
that fight in the air.
The confidence to send that ball in.
Well, we know that Northeast Inferno is a team that have full confidence in each other. And that also comes when balls are flying over the head of Letitia Kidner.
They have to go on ball soon. Like, this is now 3, and it's 3 minutes.
Well, that 3-goal lead has changed sides again, and it's now on Northeast Inferno's side. Caitlin Jones!
What?
Absolutely incredible scenes from Caitlin Jones, the goal defence from Northeast Inferno, to take that ball cleanly in the air and run it through.
These goals, these extra goals, are Caitlin's goals. She has absolutely earned this. Look at her, she's holding onto a short. She's pretty broken. She's taken a hit on the floor, but she's still going for absolutely everything.
You can tell that Caitlin Jones is absolutely exhausted, but she still has that power in her to take those flies, to create the opportunities.
And all they've got to do now is just look after the ball. It doesn't matter how many passes they put in. It's an uphill climb for Valley Volcanoes.
Because Underhill has just put them 4 goals ahead on their own centre pass now for Daltrey. Becca Hughes.
They've got to take it quick. They've got to move it quick.
And Steph Perry does and finds Boulderson right at the top of the circle.
Steph Perry knew that it had to go quickly. She sent it quickly. Get that centre ball back.
Daltrey not in the mood to give the ball to Nick quickly this time.
Oh, the backing up from...
And Catherine Hughes, the tracking of the ball into Reynolds.
They just lost that drive through, hadn't they? And she tracked it so well.
And now it's all about possession for Northeast Inferno. Just over 90 seconds left on the clock.
And this is what they do well. They move ball well. They move onto ball well. So to ask them to play possession is like asking them to just do what they do every day of the week.
Matt Cole is struggling to keep up with this game.
I don't blame him. I'm not even sprinting and I'm struggling to keep up with it.
I'm out of breath just watching.
That
Underhill again.
Gold medal. The bench know it.
And a substitution now coming. Time called by Ashley Davis, and Emily Wykes comes on to the wing attack position. Jess Daltrey in centre. 56 seconds on the clock. Do they need to keep moving?
The bench are already celebrating. They know job's done.
Of course they do, because Tash Jarvis has just forced that error again. Own Georgia Jenkins. Northeast Inferno are redeeming themselves after their bitter loss last year to Valley Volcanoes. 30 seconds now, 4 goals the deficit. It's not enough time for Volcanoes, but they will still try.
I feel
Caitlin
like
Jones again.
If this was a film right now, we'd have ... The saga continues.
Well, 20 seconds. The clock has been paused by umpire Becky Scott.
Valley Volcanoes will still want to get this scored.
Boulderson. In the net it goes, 10 seconds, and there'll be no rush from Jess Daltrey. Oh, Catherine Hughes! Catherine Hughes!
Oh, what?
Wonderful play, Molly Underhill. will score the final goal. And North East Inferno have stolen the crown from Valley Volcanoes. Final score 31-27, and just look how much it means to them. They lost last year. It was bitter for them, a bitter loss. And this year they came back with a vengeance. They stole it from the same opposition, Valley Volcanoes, with a bang.
That was the most phenomenal game. Honestly, the scenes as well, it's almost a little bit emotional. It's just so well earned. I mean, it could have gone either way at any point in time during the game. Credit to both teams. But look at that. That's how much it means.
Northwest Fury also celebrating with Northeast Inferno, the northern love shining through. Both teams huddling up together, ready to take their comments from coaches, assistant coaches, team managers alike. And we are going to be seeing Northeast Inferno taking the crown this year of the Fleet EV National League 2024. Well, what a game we ended with. It was absolutely incredible. All the positional power, composure, tips, tricks, turnovers, running across the court. Very well deserved. And as we always said, Northeast Inferno won that game. They earned that game.
Absolutely. And you know what? We debated, or I debated, on whether like they were brave changes. I wasn't sure, but you know what? It absolutely paid off in their favour. Just Caitlin Jones. I mean, some of those turnovers, they were the key points in time, and then the whole team being able to bring that all the way through to goal. But without those turnovers, like, just stunning, wasn't it?
Especially at a crucial time where the points are so close. Well, we are just setting up here for the trophy presentation. Northeast Inferno are celebrating once again. Head coach Laurie Barker must be ecstatic with her team's performance, as you would be with what they've just displayed on court.
Yeah, absolutely. Proud coach moment. And, you know, they really did execute what she'd asked them to do. And they did it with absolute style. Played with confidence the whole way through. Just stunning.
And we are, like we said, setting up here now for the presentation to present the first and second place teams. So winners and runners-up with their trophies and medals. An absolute turnaround from last year. These two teams have been here before, but it was very different outcome last year. Valley Volcanoes put everything on the line there. They played their absolute socks off. And what a difference from the game we saw yesterday between those two teams as well. They definitely learnt their lesson, didn't they? Yeah,
they really did. I mean, yesterday, it still went in the way of Northeast Inferno, didn't it? But actually, it was almost a more convincing win by them. And it was won quite convincingly by the end. At this, even down to the last 3 minutes, you were like, oh, can they, can't they, can they, can't they? And it was really only the last sort of minute and a half where that 4-goal gap was created, and you thought, yeah, they've done it now. Well, it was down to the wire, absolutely, by Northeast Inferno, but an absolutely incredible win and a well-deserved win. So we are just waiting here for Vicky Sutton, the CEO of Welsh Netball, to take to the court to present the winners with their medals and the trophy, of course, for this Fleet EV National League. And it sets up the competition so well for next year. I know we've still got the presentation to go, but like when you look at the performances, the two new teams that have come in and how well they've performed. I mean, Coastal Heat, I have to make sure I say it right. Coastal Heat come in third as well, new into the tournament. Power Sparks, how they've grown throughout. City Flame, you could mention all of them. Everybody has made such a valuable contribution, but actually each individual team has like little pockets of magic that they've displayed that you just think, goodness, what if they bought that this year, what is it they can bring next year? And it could easily blow wide open. It absolutely can blow wide open. Well, we will be back with you in a couple of minutes just to introduce that quick presentation that will be happening. So stay right where you are whilst they set up this presentation
for the winning teams, for their medals and trophies. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back with you in a couple of minutes. Croeso nôl. Well, welcome back to the final day here at the House of Sport for the Fleet TV National League. We are absolutely exhausted from watching all this netball. Nat Pepper and I have been here all day yesterday, all day today, just soaking up all the talent, all the atmosphere, and what a final we've just had. between North East Inferno and Valley Volcanoes.
Oh, just absolutely outstanding. Honestly, a masterclass in netball, a masterclass in composure, a masterclass in consistency. Just superb all the way through the court, from goal shooter down to goalkeeper. Fabulous.
Absolutely. And the team's now just setting up on the court as CEO of Welsh Netball, Vicky Sutton, is preparing to present them with their trophies and medals. A lot of thanks to give to everyone who makes this league possible, because a league like this is not possible without so many people, isn't it? And to obviously run it as well throughout the year, not just a one-day event.
Yeah, I mean, it costs a lot of money, so, you know, the sponsors and partners are absolutely valuable. And the crowd as well, and the coaches, and the team managers, and the umpires. And, you know, the lady stood on court right now about to do the presentations. We were joking earlier, CEO, but also will literally do anything from running to get your coffees, to wiping the court, to pumping up balls. Like, just an overall hero.
Absolutely incredible CEO, Vicky Sutton. She is not shy of any work. Is she hard work or easy? She will do absolutely everything for netball in Wales, and I think it's a credit to her how much this league has drawn players of such calibre, and how much has grown over the past 2 years after establishing it last year, and what plans she has for the future as well.
And the crowds, you know what, the crowds here were great today, and the atmosphere was electric in that final. Like, this stand in front of us that you can't see was absolutely full, people on their feet, and just like, that's been created by Wales Netball, everybody that works at Wales Netball, and yeah, just a brilliant event, and what fantastic way to develop
the sport and develop the players. Absolutely. So Vicky Sutton will shortly get the microphone going. Just their own technical difficulties as she is currently untangling a cable as CEO.
But you can see on the court, you know, they're the ladies that have just performed so well. Fantastic performances, and all of the players on both of the teams have taken to court throughout the competition, all had a massive contribution to play and a massive part to play, and you know, real teamwork.
Absolutely real teamwork, and we have said it many times that these tight teams, all 8 teams, have such depth in their bench, and they can bring on such different calibre of players and being able to switch their games around those players. So it's been so lovely to see everyone take court, hasn't it?
Yeah, and we see like the result of the hard work, of all the work that they've done throughout the tournament so far.
Well, here is the CEO, Vicky Sutton, now, so we will be handing over to her to continue this presentation, as she is going to be continue with this talking. Thank you so much for joining us on this league. Nat Pepperell and I will hopefully speak to you very soon.
Can you hear me in VIP? Brilliant. Well, hands up whose heart rate is through the roof and is never going to recover. And that's from the 7th-8th playoff when we went into extra time as well. Okay, here we are. Year 2 of the Fleet EV National League. Well, year 1 of the Fleet EV National League, but year 2 of the Wales Netball National League. So, oh look, they're all coming now because they know how special my speeches are. So, year 2, 2 more teams, 30 more players, and 1 more day, and lots more fun, yeah? So this year we welcomed Power Sparks and Coastal Heat, which is very exciting. I think they've gone, don't they? Which means now we've got full coverage across Wales, so we've got all 8 regions in Wales represented, which is wonderful. So we can't get any bigger, but I'm sure we're going to get even better, which is great. So, a couple of thank yous, but before I do that, I know that recently we've lost a very special friend to us, and so Donna Crossman sadly passed away a couple of weeks ago. Donna was the manager of South East Blaze last season, in our first season of the Fleet TV National League. Donna was an amazing friend to so many of us here, and an absolute hero for netball and netball in the South East. I think if we could give a round of applause, that would be really fitting. So a couple of quick thank yous and then we'll get on to the trophy. So first of all, thank you to our headline sponsor, Jared from Fleet EV. Where is he? There he is. Jared's really allowed us to level up the National League this year and do it even bigger and better. I have spoken to him about auctioning off the car or giving it to the player of the tournament, but he won't do it. But I did try, so sorry, maybe next year. We've got some team sponsors as well, so I'll read them all out and then if we give them all a big round of applause. So we've got the Printco, MechTech, Tantrum, Gallery Loft Conversions and Butte Energy. And then obviously, and this woman is incredible and I give her a shout out at all of our national tournaments and she always hides, but Wendy P has kept us the tie all weekend. Wendy, you're amazing. We're so grateful for all that you do for us. Umpires as well, they have had to run up and down, particularly in the final. I've never seen so many changes of directions from umpires. It was incredible. Done a brilliant job all weekend and throughout the whole league. So massive round of applause to the umpires over there. And sorry, and the umpire assessors as well, of course. To the Wales Netball staff, Tash is up here. Oh, you can go on track, there you are. Tash, Kira, Sue, Emma, Sarah, somewhere, and a couple of more of them have popped in and out. So Wales Netball staff are making this an amazing event. Thank you to Tantrum and the commentators up on the balcony. I'm sure you'll all watch yourself back 20 times in the next 24 hours, so well done to them. Players, you have given your all. You put your bodies on the line. It's been highs and been lows, and you've produced some exceptional netball. So well done to every single player that's been out here. And the management teams, they put up with all your rubbish for the duration of the league. Coaches, primary players, team managers, assistant coaches. I mean, it's been brilliant to see some new faces in the management team. It's been brilliant to welcome some Welsh feathers onto the management team as well. So National League is a home for everyone who loves netball, which is great. One special shout out, primary carer, where is she? Vic, there she is, she's not listening to me. Vic, for covering probably most teams in the league. So well done, Vic, thank you so much. Okay, so obviously what's super exciting about National League is we have a league and then we almost have a cup on the final day as well. So your points in the league determine what placing match you get into and then that's the match that determines your final position. So in 8th, our new team that brought their all, won 2 games but somehow finished in 8th was Power Sparks. Then in 7th, we've got West Wales Phoenix. 6th, North Wales Fury. Northwest Fury, sorry, there are 2 teams from North Wales. 5th, City Flames. 4th, South East Blaze, birthday girl, that's 3rd, our second new team, Coastal Heat. On the back there. Great, and what a battle. A replay of last year's final. Okay, it was super close right till the end. There was turnover, goal. Really, really exciting. But it's now 1-1, and the runners-up for this year are Valley Volcano! If the players can come up and get their medals. Jared, I'm so sorry. Do you mind coming out for a minute? do have 2 more awards, just so you know. You can have as many photos as you want afterwards, you don't have to rush off. Okay, last 2 awards. So this is for the player of the tournament. So we've got 2 players of the tournament this year because there's 8 teams and there was just so much talent to choose from. So the MVP times 2 has been chosen by our commentators, Elaine Roberts and Natalie Pepperell. Is that gone? And Pamela Cookie, who is in Paris at the Olympics and would much rather be here, so she says. So, we've got 2 MVPs. Our first from North East Inferno, Caitlin Jones! Well done, Caitlin. Exceptional netball. And our second, the North are dominating this, from Northwest Fury, Gwennan Williams! Wonderful. And that just leaves me with one final thank you to all of you, to Fleet TV for making 2024 so special. We will all be back next year. The competition is on, I tell you. Let's maybe another new winner next year. Maybe a previous winner come back, who knows. Those of you travelling, travel safe. Maybe City Flames, who knows. And then, for those of you travelling, please travel safe. Make sure you get some good rest and take what you've learned back to your clubs, talk positively about National League at Wales Netball and get everybody to get involved next year because it's great for everyone and lots of fun. Safe travels, well done.